that groovy music going. How's it going, everybody? Happy
Feeling it.
Sunday. The weekend is almost over on us. That is not fun. But we're here to have some fun and talk a great movie. How you doing, Brian?
I'm great. How are you?
Man, I can't complain, except for the fact that for some reason we got this really crappy weather coming right up the East Coast now, and it's just going to rain for like 5 days. So,
Man, I envy that. I wish it would rain here for 5 days.
I work outside when I work, so
Oh, that sucks.
it's not very fun.
No. We had
But
a
it's,
thunderstorm last night that was kind of crazy, but it only lasted for like 20 minutes.
yeah, but it's great movie watching weather. So I'll probably get some movies in this week in between, like trying to dodge rain for work.
Do it. Yeah, it looks like that weather's not going to hit us till Wednesday.
Nice. Well, we have it. I think we have a day off on Wednesday, but then like Thursday, Friday it comes right back around again. So there's something whipping up down in Florida, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure.
We'll get into the chat here real quick. There were some people in here super early. I originally had it scheduled for the wrong time. I do apologize, everybody.
John.
But we have Corey in here. He won't be able to chat much, but he's listening on his drive. I hope he's still hanging around because that was at about 5 o'clock.
Safe drive, Willie.
But and I thank him for being here and for being safe. Like if all you can do is listen, that's better than being unsafe. So
yeah,
we got Steve in here, Mr. Just Moody. We got Jane Dolette, my mom. How you doing?
Hey, Mama Juggalo.
We got John the Movie Man. How's it going, dude? Thanks for being in here tonight. We got Dawn of the Dead 84. That's my buddy Jerry. He does a lot of retro video games nowadays. He still likes.
Okay, cool.
He does movies and stuff as well. I found him, I think, on YouTube doing movie hauls and pickups and whatnot. But he's really into the retro games nowadays, or right now, anyways. So he was sharing the original Legend of Zelda cartoon from the 90s. He's got a really nice box set of it. So, because they announced that they're going to do a movie next year. So,
dude, I really want a Super NES again.
I keep my poster hanging up back here because I love the Super NES, right? And my 5-year-old's like, Daddy, I want to play with that controller. And I'm like, oh man, they're so brittle nowadays.
You know, it's funny. I always wondered what it said behind you because I always see because you always sit right in front of it and it's just eat, sleep, and I'm like, what does the RS say?
Eat, sleep, play, and then down underneath the controller it says repeat.
Oh, nice! I like that a lot, actually.
So back when I was over on the other side of the room, I had this table that I sat behind me where I could sit them up, where they were kind of up behind me and you could see them. And I have like 6 or 8 posters back there that I just kind of swap between just randomly because behind that is a bunch of amiibos, those little Nintendo figures. In the top of the glass case, I have all the ones that I opened. And after I got about 60 or 75 of them opened, I stopped opening them because they were taking up too much space. Well, they kept releasing them. And underneath that poster, there's just a whole bunch of stacked up sealed amiibos. And I still have like a couple more totes worth. Like Nintendo ended up doing like, I don't know, like 200 and something of those in the US. And I'm missing I got all but 6 of them. So
Why stop now?
Yeah, why stop now? So like I got to a point where I got all the Smash Brothers ones and I'm like, oh, this is cool. This is easy. They won't do anymore. And then they just started doing little drops. And it turned out to be like, like they do 2 and 3 figures every 2 or 3 months. I'm like, oh, that's not too expensive. And then when I start to realize how much space is taking up, it's like, I need a whole corner of my room just for little Nintendo figures. But they're dope. I mean, they got all your favorite Nintendo characters. They even pull in ones from like Final Fantasy and third-party games. Like a whole bunch of third-party characters got put into Super Smash Brothers this last time. So you got things like a Solid Snake amiibo. And so if you like Metal Gear and you just want a little Solid Snake, you can get one. So, pretty cool stuff that Nintendo is doing for old heads. And if you have kids or nephews or something you can kind of bond over.
Yeah.
Because from what I understand, they're going to keep making those. They've been making them for about 10 years.
Damn.
Yeah. Apparently, Nintendo makes a few million a year off of those still.
Oh yeah, yeah. Don't give that revenue up, especially if they're easy to produce.
Right. If they still have the moldings and all they got to do is just basically make them like Legos, there's no point in not doing it. Exactly. We got Tyler P in here tonight. How's it going, dude?
What's up, Tyler?
He came over from your channel, right? Right. I think I see him comment on quite a bit.
Maybe I see him comment.
So, all right. Well, we're here tonight to talk about one of my favorite sequels. I think it's actually pretty slept on. But as I watched it, because I watched it like 3 times this weekend. I watched the first one, then I watched this one, then I watched Scorpion King because that's my trilogy.
Yep.
And then I watched. I had The Mummy Returns just kind of on when I'm like organizing my shelves and just doing my physical media. The things we do when we take piles and restack them and do all that kind of stuff. And I just have it playing in the background. The things that we made fun of in this movie are still the things like back in the day are still the things that did not age well.
No, but
they're still the same things to make fun of,
But they still hold. I mean, honestly, I would say some of it holds up better than some modern CGI.
It does. To me, I feel like we got to a point in the movie, like if I didn't know that movies weren't filmed in order, I know that movies aren't filmed in order. They're filmed in pieces and you slap them together. But if one thought that movies were made in order, they would see that like in the last 35 minutes of the movie, it seems like the CGI budget went to crap.
Well, they also didn't have The Rock. The Rock was only on set for like a week, maybe. They had him for the smallest amount of time.
They said they had him for 3 days.
I was going to say
a Wednesday to a Saturday.
Yeah, and he was sick half the time.
Yeah, and so they got his part done. Now his CGI, that's not actually. He does look like something right out of like a PS2 or a GameCube game. It's whatever. Like that doesn't really bother me because he's all mystical and mythical anyways. What actually bothered me more was that the CGI, when they tried to recreate from the first one the face, and they did it with the water, I thought the sand looked so much better in the original Mummy than the water face did in the second one.
Here's the thing, though. You got to give them credit for trying because we didn't get water CGI perfected until like Avatar 2.
Oh, yeah. I mean, water CGI is hard to do. I just like I'm watching it and I'm like, did they really need to try to do a callback? Like we all know that. Like, did they really need to? I mean, it was all right, but
I didn't mind that scene. The callback that one of my favorite callbacks. So I don't know if you caught this at the very beginning when when the son is trying to when all the when the water's coming through and they're trying to escape the tomb and everything, and he accidentally knocks down all the pillars. And it's a callback to the first one where she knocks down all the things in the library.
Yeah. And honestly, so there's that CGI there, just the water, and I can't blame you. You're right. We can't blame that movie because water CGI wasn't good. But the only other part that really bothered me, and I don't really see anybody talk about this bothering them, so maybe it's just a me thing. But when he gets pulled down to hell, when the earth splits open and all the bodies, like that looked terrible.
I feel like
the further he falls, the blurrier he gets.
It doesn't bother me because I've watched the movie so much. I accept it for what it is. But yeah, I 100% agree. I feel like everybody rags on the Scorpion King CGI, but that scene when he falls into hell with all those bodies is 100 times worse.
Yeah, like I like I said, I love all the like, let's say janky early thousands CGI. We get that in lots of movies. I actually adore movies from that area.
Oh, me too.
For that reason, like I adore the not so great CGI, because nowadays it's worse. I think. Like I think if they would have made this movie today in the exact same manner,
would look worse.
It would look worse.
Yeah,
it would look worse because they do all this. I don't know. I just think it would look worse because you know what did look good? The army of all the Anubises, or is that what they're called? Like when they had all the like the big dog things running at them, and they would destroy them and they'd turn into sand.
Sand, yeah.
They had hundreds of those on screen. it looked great. You do that in a movie today, it's gonna look terrible. Like,
I think what was it? Which movie recently had like really bad CGI to me that throws me out the movie? Black Panther, the first one. The whole third act when they're fighting underground, I'm like, that looks worse than to me, I think the CGI looks more video gamey than The Mummy Returns.
Yeah.
It's just way too obvious. I think also, I mean, yeah, it's a nostalgic thing. I mean, they were trying to do stuff way above their grasp, but there's a lot of things in The Mummy that CGI wise that doesn't get enough credit. That is so amazing that all people see is Scorpion King and all that stuff. But if you look at all the exterior shots and everything when they were on the train and
like all the exterior shots in this when they're out like in Egypt, all the yellows, like I know this is not a 4K and we're going and I'm going to talk about color popping. This Blu-ray, they're standing outside in Egypt and everything is just like, it's so bright and vivid and you can see everything. Like it looked beautiful. All the outside cuts in this were great. Even when they had the hundreds and hundreds of enemies running at them, like all that still looked really good. And it didn't look like a bunch of blurry blobs, running across the screen. Like,
no, I think this is one of the best Blu-rays I own, like quality wise. Like I don't see a flaw in this, and I feel like a 4K would just enhance the badness of the CGI. But I've seen some comparisons online of not The Mummy Returns, but the first Mummy, 4K versus Blu-ray, and I haven't seen it to really experience it. But the side by sides I've seen have been like, ew. What they do to it, it looks desaturated. It's going
like
for more
the colors.
It's going for a more natural look, but I'm like, I like the super vibrant skies and the super orangey yellow sand dunes, and
they're not supposed to look natural. Like,
no, it's a fantasy movie.
Like I don't know, man. Like if you would put like you would change just Brendan Fraser's tone of his skin, it would change the whole tone of the movie. You know what I mean? Like,
I think skin tones on these Blu-rays look even fire. Like, because I always talk about the fire when I'm doing 4K reviews. I'm like, the fire pops. I'm like, I'm looking at this fire in here, and I'm like, wow, this fire is good enough for me.
I mean, there are some Blu-rays when you compare them to 4Ks nowadays that when you look at the older Blu-ray, they look a little flatter. They don't have that pop. That wasn't the case for these. These all kind of still had that pop, like those pyramids just kind of popped off the background a little bit. And I'm a big 3D guy, so I'm all about that pop and that layering and all that. That's kind of the thing that's kind of where I find my enjoyment with the 4K 4K upgrades for some movies, is that because I don't have a real big 3D TV anymore, some of these 4K movies still have that layering and give me that clarity that 3D gave me that I enjoyed 10 years ago. But some Blu-rays, like these Mummy ones, they already did such a good master of them that they already have that pop and that color pop.
Yeah, 100% agree. And the 4Ks, from what it looks like, are only on 66 gig compared to the 50. But color wise, I was impressed. It was like in a day where especially me, who compares a lot of stuff, I am hugely impressed by how the Mummy, especially the Mummy Returns and the Mummy look. But you were talking about like your Blu-rays from 2008.
Yeah.
Mine's the same. I have new artwork, but this is the same disc.
I mean, my slipcover literally advertises buy a PlayStation 3 to play it, because Blu-ray players were more expensive than PS3s, which is another reason why I would never tell my friend that they're watching a movie wrong by watching it in their PS5. I'm of that generation. We bought PS2s and used them as DVD players. We bought PS3s and used them as Blu-ray players. Like,
I did the same.
I'm just like, hey, I'm glad to be able to have an affordable way to watch it. So And I love these little stickers. Like I know some people would peel them off, but to me, like it has that Mummy 3 ticket, which I want to take that off. But like this has the date that it was stocked at Walmart and everything. It has that Walmart sticker. Like to me, it kind of just brings back that whole I bought, I remember going to the store when this came out on Blu-ray and buying it because this was one of my favorite movies growing up. I mean, I think me and my dad went and seen this one in the theater because we loved the first one so much. We didn't go see the first one in the theater, but the first one was a very big DVD when it hit home. Like, and we were really big DVD buyers. Like we were getting, 3 movies almost every week. And The Mummy was one of those ones that we bought and we continuously watched regularly. Like it'd be like The Mummy, Rush Hour, The Mummy, Rush Hour. Like that was 1999 to 2001 in my household. And then 2001, boom, here comes The Mummy Returns. In a lot of ways, this movie really does hold up great as a sequel. In a lot of ways, it's such a good sequel. That's why nothing that comes after it really ever quite hits that mark again.
No, I mean, honestly, the weakest part of the whole movie is The Rock in his whole story. I mean, you take the Scorpion King out and just have him and Imhotep fighting at the end in the thing. It's still dope. You got Rachel Weisz and Anak Sailor Moon, her chick fight. You got that awesome girl fight in the pyramid, the flashback, and then you got them fighting again.
So I'm watching the credits on this as it opens up and right near the beginning of the opening credits. And it makes me think that this is the whole reason The Rock's even in this movie. One of the first names that pops up is Vince McMahon as an executive producer.
Yeah. No, I think
they wanted that WWE money to make this movie is what it was.
I think this was The Rock's first movie.
I believe it was.
And if you think about it, WWE has been a huge part of the Scorpion King.
Yeah.
Why do you think the Scorpion King has 4 or 5 movies? And they're all
Scorpion
wrestling.
King is still, I mean, it's still all Universal, and it doesn't say that it's a WWE film.
I don't think they had established. I don't think they had established the WWE film.
No, but if you buy the 5-pack of Scorpion King movies, it says WWE Studios all over the back of the DVD case on all the discs, because that basically became a WWE franchise along with like the Marine and a handful of other ones. Whatever that one with Stone Cold was in, Condemned, See No Evil. They had a run there where they were trying to, I feel like they were trying to recreate Hulkamania from like the late 80s, early 90s and get some wrestlers into some movies.
Oh, yeah.
And they still try it to this day. I mean, they still try it to this day. One of my favorite wrestler turned actors right now is Batista. I actually think that guy has range, and I kind of just hope that he still gets the kind of roles where he can show off the range, because I think he has it.
My favorite's John Cena right now, only because John Cena cracks me up.
I like John Cena, but I'm actually really digging what he's doing with wrestling right now, and I don't even watch wrestling anymore. But I love that he's playing the bad guy. He's like, I'm gonna retire, but before I go, I'm gonna be the jerk, and I love it. Like, I'm not even watching any of it, but you go through your Instagram reels, you go through like Facebook and stuff, and you see enough wrestling stuff that, unless you actually say you don't want to see it, it's in your zeitgeist in one way or another. It's just too big. Let me get back here to the chat real quick. We got a lot of people that jumped in here. I don't want to be too rude. We got Movie Hunter. Thanks for popping in, dude. I'm sure if the Mummy movies have steelbooks, he has them. Yes, they do. The amiibos are like physical DLC, because if you scan them into your games, they unlock stuff in your games. So it's kind of like having physical downloadable content.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. And you can take them and unlock, like if you unlock stuff in certain games, it'll like write something to the chip, because they're NFC chips that are built into the base of the figures, and you can take them to a different game and unlock different things. And so they all do a bunch of different stuff, but it got to where they started doing like all these different Marios, and all the different Marios did the exact same thing. They just looked different. Like you had a Dr. Mario and this Fire Mario, but they would all do the same thing. But collector in you just wants to get all of them. So,
oh yeah.
What's up, Holland? That makes this an official stream of sorts. If he pops in, he is basically the physical media guru. Which I don't know if Holland wants me to say it, but he started Letterboxd and he's been watching some good movies.
Oh, nice.
We got Van Gool. How's it going, dude? Thanks for being in here tonight. The Mummy Returns is his favorite. Hey, I actually think it's my favorite too, and we'll get into why in just a few minutes after I get through the rest of these. And it has a lot to do with why I don't like 3 as much, is why I like 2 as much as I do. Love the Mummy trilogy, Scorpion King's movies, not as enjoyable. The first one is as enjoyable, I think, as part 1 and 2 of the Mummy, but it's way more enjoyable than part 3 of the Mummy. But I don't recall watching anything past the first Scorpion King, because I was just like, oh, it's Randy Cortair or somebody like that, and then like at one point they had Ron Perlman and Billy Zane on it. I'm like, oh yeah. And then somebody on YouTube said that Billy Zane was in it for like 5 minutes, and I'm like, oh well, I don't want to watch it if he's only in it. Like, I would have watched it for Billy Zane. Not the others. Yeah, that's where I'm at, Van Gogh.
Yeah, I haven't seen any of the sequels.
The Mummy Returns balloon ship was a cool scene. Yeah, that's really cool. I do like that. It is kind of like a what do you call that? The kind of ending that it's just like where he just magically appears at the end to like save them and they float off.
Just save them when they're
what kind of I can't remember. There's like a certain name for the type of ending that is, but the Mummy franchise is my Indiana Jones. Hey, I won't rag on that, not one bit. Like,
well, it depends. Are you adding Mummy 3 into there? Because I can't add.
Nah,
Scorpion King, but not Mummy.
So if you look at like if you look at the Mummy set, kind of like the Indiana Jones set, and we're just gonna forget 5 even ever came out, but you got your first 4 Indiana Jones, right? And then you got your first 4 mummies, and you got Mummy 1, 2, Scorpion King, part 4, the Emperor, was that Dragon? I have it, but I will tell you, I watched the first 20 minutes of it, fell asleep, and never put it in again.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever got past the first like 15. Once the new wife comes in and she's a totally different, I'm like, nope.
It just sours me.
Yeah, I'm like, nope, I can't do this.
But then you got like Indiana Jones 1, 2, 3, and then part 4 just like shits the bed. Nobody likes Crystal Skull, so it's kind of like the Mummy and Indiana Jones kind of like go hand in hand. But I will tell you, I've not seen Indiana Jones 5, but was it last year that came out, or 2020? I think it was 2023. Whenever it came out in the theater, me and my wife sat down. We had Paramount Plus at the time. We went ahead and sat down and watched through the first 4 Indiana Jones. I had never seen them before. My wife loves them. She's like, oh, I grew up watching them. I love them. They're great. I love the Indiana Jones movies, but I was like late to the game, 34 years old before I ever seen them.
Oh wow. Okay.
I get to Crystal Skull and I'm like, why does everybody hate Crystal Skull? This is awesome. I mean, there's like aliens coming out of pyramids, and like this is cool. Like if you like conspiracy alien theories and stuff like that, like I know that it's kind of like a jump the shark moment, but like somebody that had no attachment to any of it, and I just watched 1, 2, 3, 4 back to back to back to back. I don't understand the hate for Crystal Skull.
Crystal Skull is really, really good up until that part. It's literally everything is really good up until they get to Akrator, and then it's really once they get into that room where the mummy, where the aliens come, then it shits the bed. But everything else
totally jumps the
I'm not gonna fault 2/3 of that movie being good for one. Like I mean,
it's a great Indiana Jones. What is it about? That one's like 2 hours, isn't it? Like 2 hours and 14 minutes or something.
It's long. I don't know.
Like, so the first hour and like 35, 40 minutes is a great Indiana Jones movie.
Yeah. And I'm like you, I haven't seen the 5th one yet. I'm going to. I actually started watching it the other day because I was like, I'm building an Indiana Jones box set, and I was like, I got to get I'm probably going to end up getting the 5th one anyway, but I want to watch it before to really see. I watched the first 10 minutes of it. I fell asleep, not because it was bad, because I was tired, but the first 10 minutes, I was like, this is not bad. And then people say, no, the first 20 minutes is the best part. Then it shits the bed. I was like, oh, okay. I haven't got
that. And that one's pretty long too, I think. I think it's around 2-hour mark, maybe a little
Movies
longer.
are just too long right now, man.
So I was just talking to my dad about that earlier today. He was talking about, he watched this one that was an Amazon movie, I guess, Elevation. And he was like, I liked it. I was like, yeah. He was like, yeah. He was like, honestly, my favorite part was that it was an hour and 31 minutes long. I was like, yeah, see, I missed the 90-minute movie. I'd much rather watch 2 90-minute movies than 1 3-hour long movie.
That's why I can't get into TV shows, man. TV shows are just, I get hooked and I lose track of time and I have to finish.
I like TV shows, but I get very picky, and I like a lot of 30-minute TV shows because a lot of times I'll be like, oh, I need to be getting done, and I'll put it up. And if it's like a 30-minute show, I might have 18 minutes. Well, I could put you that 18 minutes and then stop. But
this is off subject because I know we're talking about the Mummy, but I just want to ask you: are you a DC fan? You're a DC. You posted the Superman thing, right? Or no, Jordan did that. Are you a DC fan at all?
I like DC. I like Batman.
Are you into DC animation? Should I say?
I like the DC animation. I used to watch the Justice League cartoons and like the Batman Beyond cartoons and all that kind of stuff with my dad. And then like we would watch the movies that would come out, like Justice League: A New Frontier and like those ones. And then they do like Justice League War and
yeah. Have you ever seen the Harley Quinn show on HBO Max?
Actually, I have watched that. I've been collecting the DVDs from my wife because they bring them out and they're always super affordable. They're only like $10 or $15 a season on DVD.
Yeah, I got the first 2 seasons. There's like a 2-in-1 for $5 each, and then I just upgraded the Blu-rays. But that show is literally one of my favorites. I put that on and just put it on the background and just on rotation. I love it.
I was not expecting that's William Shatner's daughter, right? The girl from
is that William Shatner's daughter?
Yeah, that's William Shatner's daughter, the girl from Big Bang Theory.
Haley Cuoco?
Yeah. That's her name. Yeah.
Haley I didn't know that was his. Hold on. You real fast.
Yeah. So it makes it even funnier if you go back and you watch the episode of Big Bang Theory where he's on it. It makes it even funnier because she's saying stuff to him that she actually means to say to him in real life. It's kind of funny.
Hold on. You're like literally blowing my mind right now because
you had no idea, huh?
I had no idea. Well, because her last name's not Shatner.
No, she wanted nothing. So her and him had a really bad relationship. And
wait, it doesn't say her. Wait, that doesn't say it's her dad.
When she got into Hollywood, she wanted no affiliation with him whatsoever. So she changed her stage name.
No, they're not related.
Yeah.
They're not. He even says, "No, she's not my daughter" in an interview.
I swear that's his daughter.
No, it's not. She's got her parents. They're separate. No, that's
Spoof says she's not, but she is what the chat says. I swear somebody said that was his daughter, and I didn't believe it either. But I keep seeing it pop up in the zeitgeist.
That's one of those like Mandela effect things. I don't know. Anyway, we're sidetracking. But yeah, no, that's why I can't get into TV shows very often. But I'm actually surprised they haven't done like a Mummy TV series.
Speaking of, they did do a Mummy TV show.
Okay.
Right after the Mummy Returns. I don't have that one. I have the Jungle Book cartoon. They did a Jungle Book cartoon and a Mummy cartoon at the same time.
Oh, it was a cartoon. Okay,
they were WB. But it actually did a full animation run. So not every cartoon gets the full animation run, but what's considered to be a full animation run for a series is 52 episodes. If a 22-minute cartoon runs 52 episodes, it's considered a complete animation run. Nickelodeon would like curb contracts and stuff to try to stretch out shows to get to 52. I don't know what the whole idea about it is, but The Mummy Returns actually spawned a show of them running tombs with their son Alex. So it's a full-on cartoon of the 3 of them running tombs, and it's set between Returns and the Emperor tomb.
Is it good? I'm like looking to say like I'm probably gonna get it now because
I feel like, to be honest with you, I feel like I was too old when it came out. Like,
yeah, probably.
Well, they came out in like 2004, 2005. Dude, I was in high school. I wasn't watching cartoons in high school. It wasn't cool to watch cartoons in high school, you know? Like, yeah, I feel like I was too old for it when it came out, but I seen somebody talking about it and I went and just did a little research like Joe Blow. You ever watch any of his videos on YouTube?
Mm-hmm.
He talks about, you know, franchises and stuff, and he was talking about it. So I went and watched like his little skit on it real quick. And I'm like, it looks like the Jumanji cartoon, and the Jumanji cartoon was pretty good. And I caught it on WB just randomly from time to time.
Dude, I can go pick this up today for $5.
Really?
Not gonna do it, but I might watch a trailer or something. But that intrigues me actually.
And say if they got 2 of them, because I've never seen.
I'm trying to figure the complete one because it's like 4 volumes, but they say the complete. I think one's a complete.
Oh, okay.
I can't tell if it's just season 1 or if it's all of them. I'll have to figure it out. But...
All right. Well, here we go. The third Mummy 4K disc doesn't play in my Panasonic 820. Now, hang on a sec. I'm gonna do a little bit of stuff that'll probably lose me a subscriber or so. But isn't that supposed to be like the best 4K player, and it can't play like a simple Mummy 4K disc?
You know what's funny too?
Like that's what I don't understand.
The Texas Chainsaw Massacre one won't. Well, it won't play Dolby Vision in the Panasonic, but it will in the Sony players.
Which is the cheap player that everybody says is the wrong one to have. But I got 2 of them and I love them. So
I got one. Yeah, basically I got 2. I got the Sony 4K one and I got that Sony region free just Blu-ray one.
Yeah, I found the Sony player at a thrift shop, but they were stacked on top of each other. There were 2 Sony players. One of them was open, had the remote. The other one still had the plastic taped to the top of the player, but it wasn't. They were both out of box. And there was a little $10 like orange thrift sticker on it. I took it to the counter, and the lady charged me $10 for both Sony X700 4K players. So to me, I don't care if they freeze up a little bit. I paid $5 for them because I was using an Xbox One before that. Like, I didn't care. But it's nice to have a player that does Dolby Vision when you have TVs that do Dolby Vision. So that's just one of those things. But like, I don't have any problem playing any disc in my Sony players. There's some kind of settings you can go and find online. And if you set the settings up and you have to manually turn Dolby Vision on. But besides that, I've never had any issue. And then for Christmas, my wife got me a region free player, and it was the Sony player, and it uses the exact same remote. It has the exact same menu, and it's easy to use, and it works great.
I'm laughing at the chat. My boy Jason from Movie Masters in the house.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay,
he's asking your mom if she's related to you.
Had to happen with 3 different Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. I heard that one has a hard time playing in the Panasonic. I don't know. I have no real reason.
I have no reason to get the Panasonic right now because I already have the Sony one and I have a PlayStation 5. So I have 2 4K players.
I mean, to be honest, I have more 4K players than one household needs because I got an Xbox One S, an Xbox One X, an Xbox Series X, a PS5, 2 Sony 4K players, and an LG 4K player. Like, I got like 7 players. I could have 4K players in every room of the house, but I got like 5 of them sitting right here in this room right now. Like, it's not that hard to get a 4K player nowadays. If you're not like prestigious about what player you're using, just get a player and play the movies. What's up, Eli? Thanks for popping in, dude.
What's up, Eli?
Oh, Batista was in Scorpion King 3. There we go, because it was a WWE franchise by that point.
Yeah, so, and he wasn't really established yet.
Yes, yeah, dude. The amiibos, they're just like the Skylanders game, where you just take the figures from game to game. There's a complete steals for Mummy and one for Mummy Collection. I figured so, and I bet you have. Well, I know you have them.
I've only seen the steel for the first Mummy. I haven't seen the steel book for Mummy Returns.
I think it's just for the first Mummy, and then he's got one for the collection.
Oh, gotcha.
So it might be like all of them in one.
Oh, yeah. Oh, got you. That makes sense.
That would be what I would think.
Are they stacked disc or are they individual?
I have the Mummy Steelbook that looks like the Book of the Dead. That's tight. That's tight. I love the Book of the Dead in this franchise because they don't go with like the dead face. They go with like that cool like Egyptian looking stuff, and they have like the key that is like a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Have y'all heard of Witter Entertainment? They make. Oh yeah.
I just spent $80 on two Terrifier 1 VHSs from them.
I'm not gonna lie, Eli. I think you might have ran into the stream that has like the biggest Whittier fans in it because we both be supporting these guys. I ordered the part 1, the standard part 1, because I'm hoping that it'll be about the same size. That way, when you start making boxes, I might have to cop one.
I think it's just one tape, but it's the same. I think it's the same size. That's why I ordered 2, because I ordered the box one with the orange tape, not the new one, but the 2022 one. And then I asked them, and they were like, "No, it's bigger." He said it's way bigger.
So it's probably like a clamshell or something. Or?
No, it's not a clamshell. It's like a box, but it's
okay.
Taller and done differently. And but I missed the standard one because it didn't look like a VHS. It just looked like a poster.
It looked like a movie poster. Yeah.
So it just kind of went past me.
But if it's still on sale, man, I tell people to go get it. I did one of those collector things where I bought these VHS tapes before I ever seen the movie because I was just like getting into doing new VHS tapes.
Honestly, I did too. I saw the second one, didn't really care for it. The VHS came out. I really liked it again, rewatching it. I bought the big pack from Umbrella from the 4Ks that came with the VHS, but I hadn't seen the third one yet. And I waited until I had the VHS to watch the third one. And I have not rewatched the first one since it came out. I haven't even rewatched the 4K yet because I'm waiting for the VHS.
Now, I watched, because like I said, I about 2 weeks ago, I guess, well, probably when I paid for the VHS, I bought the VHS. I'm like, I think it's time for me to watch Terrifier 1. So, because I have a way to stream it. So I stream, whatever, sue me. So I went ahead and streamed it. And I was like, okay, this is going to look dope on VHS. Like I watched it here on my little 42-inch 3D TV because I'm like, the stream I'm watching is only 1080p stream anyways. I really don't think I want to blow it up to my 65-inch 4K.
Yeah.
Like I'm going to be honest right now. I love my OLED TV. But I actually think that the OLED TV makes certain things look worse that they shouldn't make look worse.
That's what I
be honest with.
That's what I no. My boy, Chase at AVA Pop Culture, he says the same thing, and I'm just like, he said, especially like with DVDs, he said it makes it look worse. I'm like, I think if I want a TV that makes it look,
it does.
I still like watch. I may get an OLED and keep this one because I'm not getting rid of it. I may just or get a different smaller one because this one's kind of broken. And get one that's non-OLED just because I don't want it to ruin a movie. Because there's movies I have that still are only available on DVD that I like to watch.
Yeah.
And I don't want to see more flaws to it if the OLED's going to ruin. But I do want an OLED for my 4Ks and my Blu-rays. But for my DVD, I'm getting a CRT for my VHSs. I'm just going to keep my non-OLED for my DVDs and Blu-rays.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, for a lot of my DVDs, I'll watch them over here on my 3D TV because it's just a 1080p TV.
Dude, and DVDs so bad.
DVDs still look really good when they're just upscaled to 1080p. And honestly, like my 4K TV before my OLED DVDs looked good on. It's just something about the OLED TVs that I feel like DVDs look worse. Like when I first got, I've had mine. I'm going on like 4 years. I've had mine. And for the first like 2 years I had my OLED, I was like 4K or bust. And I would put my nose up to DVDs because they looked so bad. Now I got a standalone player and they looked better than they did on the PS5. The DVDs looked better on the standalone player
with the OLED
through the OLED. And that was when I got that Sony X700 or whatever. Well, then I got my LG. And the DVDs look even better on the LG player. Like that's actually the player that if I'm going to watch a DVD on my 4K TV, I put it in my LG player because it actually makes DVDs still look really good. It doesn't make them like super dark in certain backgrounds and blurry, and because there's like it tries to upscale DVDs in a way. I feel that it just makes things look off. Like it just makes things look off.
I'm very much for keeping older players, especially like DVDs, because they're. You know how we're getting into to this whole thing of Sorry, I'm looking at the chat and some of the chat's cracking me up.
I'm so far behind in it. We got what's up? What's up, Jason?
What's up, yeah, Jason's cracking. Yeah, he's cracking me up in the chat.
I love Jet Li, but I never seen that Mummy before. Should I? Hey, you know what? If you watch that one, you won't see Jet Li in it very long, anyways. So I've never watched all the way through, but from what I understand, they put him on the front cover. They sold him out for the movie. All this stuff. He's in like the last 15 minutes. Is what I've heard. Like they pulled another Rock on you. Let's see. Jay, yeah, okay. They got that figured out.
Yeah, that was cracking me up earlier.
Get out of here. Panasonic UB820 or just go back to VHS is how I roll. I mean, yeah, but I'm not gonna be like I said, I'm not gonna tell nobody that their PS5 is wrong. It plays the 4K disc, and it still and the 4K discs in PS5 still look good. Like they do. The only thing I don't like about the consoles is that you don't get Dolby Vision, and that's
that's the only thing. But not every player has Dolby. Not every 4K has Dolby Vision.
No, and not every TV does. Like if you buy a Samsung, you don't get Dolby Vision.
These Mummy 4Ks don't have Dolby Vision. Maybe Dolby Vision would help it. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I like Dolby Vision only because the first 4K TV I got back in 2016 had Dolby Vision, and I just kind of got into that. It's the best. It's
the best. Yeah.
I'm just kind of in that mindset. Like I'm so much in that mindset that like I keep a separate catalog of all my 4K movies like on a Word document, and I put a little asterisk next to ones that do Dolby Vision, because it's like if that does Dolby Vision, I don't want to go watch it on like, I don't want to take that to somebody's house and watch it with them when I can watch it on my TV and Dolby Vision. Like, so I guess I kind of am a snob in that fashion, but it's only because like I pay to have that. So I want to utilize it when I can. And I'm more so like about that than I am like 4K and Dolby Vision or bust. It's just one of those things where it's like, I have it. So if I can utilize it, I'd like to.
Yeah.
But hell, man, I'm happy that I got friends messaging me like, real like people I know in real life that I ain't talked to in like 5-10 years. They're like, hey, do you know where I can go find some DVDs? And I'm like, dude, you can go here, here, and here. They don't care about the format. They're just tired of their Netflix account going up and up and up and up. And they're like, I remember back in high school when I used to come over to your house and your parents had DVDs everywhere. That was the library that I could choose from. And I'm like, yeah, you can do that too.
Like, yeah, no, when it comes to this, we're just all snobs, really. I mean, it's really normal people don't care about.
No, they don't.
They just want to watch the movie. They'll still buy DVDs because it's a streaming. It's an alternative to streaming.
And honestly, most people that I know, and this is no knock on anybody, and even this is even like gamers that I know, they have whatever 4K TV they could afford at the time from Walmart at whatever size. They might have like a 50 to a 60-inch Vizio or something from Walmart. Still looks better than their old 1080p TV from college, I'm sure.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Oh, for sure.
So, but that's the common person, because when you go through Walmart, you're going down these aisles and you're knocking your cart into 65-inch TVs that stick out in the middle of the aisle for $300. And people are like, well, that's a good deal. And it is. So it was like,
buy a 75-inch TV for $400 at Walmart. Yeah.
Dude, I was standing, I took a picture. I think I put it on my Instagram probably like 3 or 4 months ago. And I'm standing in front of this On TV. They had this On brand TV at my Walmart, and it was a 98-inch. And it had a price tag on it of, I think, $139.99. It was like $1,400, right? And I was standing in front of it. I'm like, look at how big this TV is. And somebody said, yeah, it's so big, but look at that brand. The refresh rate's probably like a 3.
Yeah. Yeah. I was talking about this on my last stream right before this, but I'm like, bigger TVs don't really, they don't interest me as much. You know, I have a 55. I'm happy with my 55. When I upgrade it, I might get a 65, but I'm debating getting another 55 when I do get my OLED. Just for one, I live alone. I can move a 55. A 65 inch is too big for me to do anything.
It is. Anytime I have to move my TV out to like clean behind it, I'm calling my son in here to help me pick it up and move it.
Yeah, a 55 I can easily manage, and it's totally fine for me. So, like, and I know there are some people who I don't have the room for my own theater. I mean, I technically can, but it's, you know, we all have different scenarios.
So I've pretty much been at a 60-inch TV since like 2010. When I bought my first 3D TV, I had one of those Mitsubishi DLPs, like the big boys, like rear projections, and it was 60-inch. Then when I went to a 3D flat screen, I went to a 60-inch 3D 4K flat screen. And the only reason I have a 65 is because they didn't sell a 60 in OLED. Like the sizes changed from the time that I bought one TV to another. Like they just stopped making 60-inch TVs how I wanted them. You know, I wanted to get an OLED, but I didn't want to go from a 60 to a 55. I'm like, why would I downgrade size? I'd rather just go 5 inches bigger. But to be honest, I'll probably never go bigger than 65. You can find good TV stands for those. You can make them fit in most apartments pretty well. Like they look good. You start getting bigger, and then that's when you're like, I need to sit further back.
Yeah, I had a 65-inch before I had this 55. And I remember when I moved, like back in 2017, it broke because it was it was on the floor leaning against the TV because I didn't know anybody to help me put it up. So I just had it sitting on the floor. Well, one day I had to get something. I unplugged it from the TV, scooted it back, pushed it back. I didn't push it back far enough, so the TV went like, I just turned around and heard a thud. And I was like, I turned around and it was.
It's one of those things where we also have to be wary of the fact that, like, even if we did have friends, we're getting to the age where it's like we can't offer them a beer and some pizza to come help us move our big ass TVs anymore. You know, we're gonna have to pay our buddies $50 to come help us because they're gonna have to go pay the chiropractor. Because these OLED TVs ain't heavy. What is heavy is the stands. That stand's like 120 pounds. And so when you go to pick the TV up and you got all that weight on the stand, the TV is like 25 pounds. The TV's nothing. But it's the stand that it sits on is so heavy. It takes a couple guys to pick it up.
Oh, I believe it.
There's nothing wrong with streaming. Nah, nothing at all.
I don't rely on streaming. Only time I watch streaming is to watch something I want to buy.
I rely on streaming to test drive movies.
Yeah, that's the only thing I do. And most of it's Tubi. Tubi's my no. I don't subscribe to any streaming service. Amazon I have because I use Amazon daily for other stuff. But I never watch it.
I mean, I subscribe to YouTube because, like, I'm watching most of my content on YouTube, and if I want to watch TV shows, they're probably on a channel somewhere rotating anyway.
YouTube's got a lot of banger free movies.
They do, and if you have their premium, you get it without ads. But I like having the premium because I don't get ads when I'm watching people's live streams.
Yeah.
And then from what I understand, because somebody was like, "Oh, well, then you're not paying your content creator that you like." Well, as a content creator, I've gotten messages in YouTube Studio. If I can get premium members to watch me, I actually get more ad revenue off of a premium member watching me than I do off the actual ad revenue that I would get from a regular person watching me, because they can skip that ad. If they hit that skip the ad button 15 or 30 seconds in, you get pennies. But if they're premium, they stay through your stream for every like 15-minute ad hit that you would get. That premium member still pulls in that whole like 10 cents or whatever, rather than like 2 cents. Like, you actually get more off of that premium because YouTube is basically just like paying themselves at that point. So you get a little bit more off of premium members. When I found that out, I'm like, well, then I don't feel bad about having premium. Besides the fact, I mean, premium ain't cheap.
No, I used to have premium. Well, I didn't pay for it. I was on a friend of mine's family plan, and then I was on it for like 3 years, and then she had to upgrade to an actual family member and kick me off. And I haven't done it since.
Yeah.
I have commercials now, but I hate it.
Yeah, I mean, I have the family plan, but I got 5 people in my family, and like me and my almost 17-year-old, like YouTube is pretty much the platform we watch all of our content on
Oh yeah.
anyways. And I don't know I don't know a 16-year-old that doesn't love having access to music. They're paying for Spotify or YouTube Music or Apple Music or something, and if you pay for premium, you get the music added in. So like me, my wife, all my kids, we get no ads on YouTube. We get no no, we get all of our music. But then you also, if you do your like your movies anywhere, which I know I'm all about physical media, but I redeem my digital codes because like if
I redeem my. I don't watch
like
them, but I redeem them and have them.
I'm still of the mindset like anything could ever happen. Like my physical media can still go away. Like there are such things as like natural disasters and shit like that. Like I'm not gonna miss 1 or 2 movies on my Vudu account that they might have took from me, but if my house bursts up in flames, I'm losing everything. You know what I mean? So like I still redeem my codes. Well, I learned that when you have movies anywhere, you attach YouTube to that. Everybody in your family plan gets access to your digital movie library.
Yeah, that's how big because I share mine with the homeboy that I went to school with, and he like because my Vudu connects to my Amazon. So if he's and you can't watch things double on Vudu. So if he's watching something, then I just go to Amazon and can watch the same thing or something. But
and I learned that they can do that with YouTube, and they can all 5 of us could be watching it on YouTube, and I could still have like my mom watching my Vudu. So we could all 6 watch the same movie at the same time. I'm like, that's a perk about YouTube that I don't think anybody's really talking about. That's a really nice perk.
Yeah, no, I didn't know about that perk. And one of the things I still keep my digital codes also for because when I'm at my desk working, I have an iPad in front of me down low, and I watch movies digital on here because you can't plug. You can't use you can't use an iPad as like a monitor to plug them. Trust me, I have tried.
Like I've done watch-alongs on my buddy Corey's channel over at Wilkie's Movies and Music. We've done watch-alongs of like Wild Things and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, stuff like that. I stream my digital code on my Vudu right here on the computer because I don't have a disk drive for my computer. Yeah. And it's so much easier just to go ahead and stream it up on Vudu and still be able to sit here and do the watch along and the chat and the stream and all that.
Because when you're doing that, you're not worried about quality. You just want to watch it
and hang out with your buddies and chat about it.
You're not like, I'm going to sit here and I'm just going to watch, like pay attention to the best quality I can.
But then you got to be careful because I was trying to rely on Netflix for Wild Things, and luckily our stream went, but it only had 3 days left before they were going to pull it. And I was like, oh, that's how I'm going to watch it is Netflix because I don't want to pull my Arrow off and try to hook a 4K player up over here. And you got to be careful too because like if I'm sitting here watching it and too much of my screen is being shown, you get copyright hit, even if you can't hear it.
Yep.
So I got to be careful about trying to watch something off screen too. So it's like it's just so much easier just to pull up the app on the computer. Put it on, So like I don't have any of the Mummy movies streaming, so I don't know. I assume that they probably look pretty good streaming.
It's just a lower bit. All it really is a lower bit rate.
Yeah. I looked it up, and this one is actually streaming on Tubi.
Is it really?
So you can watch it on Tubi, and I'm sure it probably looks pretty good. I don't really utilize Tubi. Mainly just because I don't watch shit with ads, man. I like if it has ads, I'm not watching it. Like I have streaming services that added ads, and I stopped watching the streaming service. Like
Tubi's ads aren't that bad. YouTube's ads are the worst.
Yeah, I heard YouTube's gotten bad. I've had, like I said, I've been premium since like 2021, so I've heard it's only gotten worse with the ads on YouTube.
Well, yeah, if you're right, it is on Tubi. Did not know that
because I was wondering. I'm like, I wonder where you could stream this at because it's Universal. I'm like, is it on Peacock?
The first one's on. Hold on, are all of them on there? The first 2 are on Tubi.
Nice. Well, that's really all you need to watch.
Where's the Scorpion King? Hang on. Oh no, Scorpion King's on Netflix. And it's been so long since I've seen the Scorpion King. It's been so long.
Did you watch it this weekend?
No, I don't own it. I'm probably after the stream. I'm kind of tempted to go down to a movie trading company and pick it up because they got the Blu-ray for $5 or $5.
So I don't know if you have any Dollar Generals around at all. Do you have any Dollar Generals around?
I think so. I don't go to Dollar General, so I don't really know where they are.
I just happened to be like in one. I don't know, probably about 2 months ago. It was pretty recent, and this was $4.95, and it had Scorpion King, Rundown, and Doom in it.
Yeah, see, I can't do those. So that's a huge pet peeve of mine. All those multiple things in one. It messes with my alphabetical order.
So I used to hate it until somebody introduced me to the Blu-ray.com app, and then when you scan it in, it lets you know you have all 3 of the movies that are in that pack.
No, that's what CLZ does too. When you scan it, it'll separate them. But on the shelf.
Well, see, what I did for the shelf is I went ahead and made a whole separate shelf of all my multi-packs. I just put all my multi-packs on one shelf, and I started at the beginning of my library. So I go multi-packs, numbers, A to Z. And that's how I do it. Now, I don't buy any 4Ks and multi-packs unless they're an actual trilogy. Like, they go together. They have to go together on the shelf. I only started doing that with Blu-ray, and I only started it last year when all my Dollar Generals were doing 50% off of all their Blu-rays, and I was getting multi-packs for like $1.50. And I'm like, man, I can't really pass up Blu-rays for 25 cents a disc.
No, that's too good of a deal.
So like I had to get past that pet peeve because I totally had that same pet peeve. I was like, I can't put it in multi-packs. I hate that. The only multi-packs I ever had was the Lethal Weapon one because it's all 4 movies.
That's
and then
different.
and then like this one.
Yeah, those multi-pack, if they're the same movie in the same franchise, that is 110%.
Yeah. That was never a problem for me. It was, like I said, it wasn't until last year, Tony over at Basement Blues, he was like, hey, because I told him, I said, I don't have a way to scan it into my app, and my app doesn't tell me if I buy the movie separate if I already have it. He said, do you use the Blu-ray.com app? And I'm like, nah. He said, if you scan all your stuff in there, it'll separate them out. I was like, well, where do you put?
And I'm like, he does that too.
And I'm like, well, where do you put them out on your shelf? He was like, well, I usually just put them on their own in their own little section. And then I realized, well, I got my tower shelf I'll just kind of start at the beginning before I do my numbers. Because I do numbers to Z for my alphabetizing. And then I just put all my multi-packs in the front. And the main reason I decided to go with the multi-pack was because there was one multi-pack I found that had a Blu-ray in it that's not available on Blu-ray any other way. And it was a sand, sun, and spring, I think, or beaches or something like that. But because
it's got
4 movies in it.
It's got Private Resort. That's not
Private Resort with Johnny Depp. That's the only way to get that movie on Blu-ray in the US. Now,
no, I don't even think you can get it overseas on Blu-ray. I think that's literally the only.
That was the very first multi-pack I ever bought that the movies didn't match. And then after that, and I put it in that app, I'm like, you know what? I don't care. I just want to be getting the movies. And if I can get them right now, Dollar General's like purging their stuff at 50% off. I'm just going to start grabbing them up, and I'll worry about upgrading 4Ks later. And the best thing about some of these multi-packs is like they bring it out on 4K without a Blu-ray disc in it. Then you can start separating out this Blu-ray pack and bundling them in with your 4Ks that are no longer coming with Blu-rays.
Yeah, I got out of doing that a while ago, but the latest one I got, it's only available in a multi-pack on Blu-ray, is When a Stranger Calls, the remake.
Yes, and I got that too because I think you told me that there is no Blu-ray.
Yeah, the Scream Queen one. Yep. I don't care about the other movies. I think I have some of the other movies separately, but I only got it for that one movie.
Yeah, because it's got I Know What You Did Last Summer, Vacancy, and then When a Stranger Calls.
And I have the I Know What You Did Last Summer. In Vacancy, I'm not that big a fan of. I actually rewatched it with that pack, and I'm like, yeah, I'm good.
But, yeah, I haven't watched Vacancy since it come out. I just remember watching the DVD and being like, not the biggest Luke Wilson fan, anyways. Yeah, so he didn't really do anything for me. But when you told me, you were like, hey, that's the only way to get that movie on Blu-ray, I'm like, I'm gonna go ahead and buy it. And then you were like, well, there's certain parts of the DVD that are better. I'm like, dang, well, I mean, the Blu-ray looks nice. So.
No, I think the Blu-ray looks better. Did I say the parts of the?
No. You said there were things about the DVD that were better, like the chapter selection and and like subtitle options and the menus and stuff.
Yeah, it's very small differences, but quality-wise, it's a bump up from the DVD, but I still keep my DVD. I keep it with my DVD, so I have both. I didn't get rid of my DVD for that movie.
Yeah. Let's see, we got. Oh, I'm gonna skip that one. That's been a little while, anyways. But we don't need to talk about Peacorn. Oh yeah, this one. I've heard really good things about the mini LEDs.
I haven't heard of those.
I'm keeping my eye out to see if LG starts with it. Because to be honest, I really like LG TVs. They've been very good to me in terms of like picture quality and sound and what they do for me when I buy them. You know, when I buy a new one, it's usually pretty, you know, it's pretty on par with what you need to enjoy every bit of like video games and movies. Because I'm not only like buying a TV for movies, I buy my TVs for video games too. They got to do certain things for my PlayStations and my Xboxes and stuff. So I don't particularly like TCL. That's just me. I've heard some people have really good outings with TCL. I have a TCL like in my daughter's room. It's like a Roku TV, but that's just because like if it dies, I don't care.
That's not a brand I recognize as much, so I've never committed to buying.
But there are supposed to be some good ones coming out. Yeah, it is crazy they don't come with disk drives anymore. But I did see that you can get a really nice like USB disk drive that has hubs built into it. It's only like $45-$50, so it's not terrible. And I think technically you can hook them into your phone now. You can hook Blu-ray players into your phone through your USB-C port.
Van Gool pulling us in check.
What's up, Smirk? Uh-oh. Where are we at? Let me scroll down here real quick. Oh, yeah. So yeah, we got a little off topic there. We're just talking and chilling. Super off topic. Hey, we're just here having fun. We're just trying to make a reason to come together. That's all. That's the big draw of it. But thanks for the $2, man. On our last stream, I thought this was really funny. I haven't told you about this yet, Brian, but you know, Joel dropped like a super sticker on us, and it was like 99 cents. So my revenue off the American Pie video is 69 cents.
Perfect.
And I was like, nobody needs to do anything else with that video. That's perfect. 69 cents revenue. Perfect.
Just drop them 99 cents every time. He'll count 60 cents. That's funny. That shows you how. Like, I thought it was going to be less than that because I thought it was 50-50.
No, I think the way that YouTube says, at least because I don't get ad revenue, I don't have enough subscribers or watch hours yet for actual ad revenue. I just get super stickers and stuff. But from my understanding, they said 70-30.
Oh, okay.
So like I had somebody donate $10 one time and they were like, hey, did you get the $10? I was like, well, kind of. They're like, well, how much did you actually get? I was like, they gave me $6.98 or something like that. And they're like, oh, that's kind of bogus. I'm like, well, I keep my PayPal.
That's why people have Patreons. Because Patreons is a lot like I think it's 90-10 or so. It's way. They take way less.
Well, I mean, I leave my like my PayPal link like on the thing. It's like if you just want to hit my PayPal, they don't take nothing. Just send me friends and family $5 that way, and I get that whole $5. Because I've actually done that with other YouTubers where I'm like, can I get you to read a comment? I kind of gave you a super chat. And they're like, what do you mean? I was like, well, on your last stream, if you go back and look at your PayPal, I sent you $5. They're like, oh yeah, I'll go ahead and pull up your chat on the next stream. So some people do it like that because you actually get like, I don't know. I've had people reach out and they're like, well, how do I get you everything I'm trying to give you? And I'm like, well, YouTube makes their money. That like what we're doing here isn't free. Bandwidth costs money, I guess, you know?
Yeah. YouTube takes and they take. But
so being back on topic. Okay. So my favorite thing about this movie is my least favorite thing about part 3. And that's Rachel Weisz.
Oh yeah. There's a part on this movie. I don't know if you've ever caught it. Okay, so you know the scene when they go see Izzy, the black dude, to go fly with the plane?
Yeah.
And he's telling her about the belly dancer chick. And he's like, shh. And she's like, belly dancer girl, we need to talk. Her British accent changes, like dramatically changes. And it cracks me up every time.
No, I don't think I've ever noticed
Yeah,
that.
go back and just watch that one scene where she goes, "Belly dancer girl, we need to talk." Like her British accent change. It goes like way more. It feels like what she naturally would sound like, or something. Like it's a change, and
Almost
it's
like
kind of sexy.
does it almost feel like they spliced two different takes together?
No, it feels like nobody caught her accent.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That's just really what it sounds like.
Hey, that happens from time to time. So some
Yeah,
actors can't get past their accent at all.
true. Yeah, very true.
Be like they start trying to talk all Cockney, and I can't get it down. uh, but nah, dude. Like that was my favorite part about this is like Brendan Fraser. Yeah, he still is like the main actor, but they really split the screen time between the both of them really well. Like she gets a
Mhm.
lot more screen time. She's almost like a co lead at this rate. In the
Well,
first one,
a story's a little bit more about her.
yeah, because they talk about her being like a reincarnated princess and all this stuff, which I thought was a little bit out there, but I'm like, well,
I like that. I
how
love
do
it.
you do a sequel to The Mummy anyways and make it make sense? This is about the only way to really do it.
Yeah, I mean, you add more to it. It's years later. They have a kid now who's like 10 or something, and
Which didn't really make much sense because I feel like the kid was older than the years that were supposed to be between the movies.
yeah, probably. I never put two and two together like
Because I
that, but
think
you're probably right.
because I feel like the first one was like 1926, and
This
this
one
one
was
was
like 1933, I think.
and this one's 1933, right? Or is the first one 1933?
No, this one's 33.
Yeah, 33. And I thought the first one was like 1926. And if that's the case, they had to bang that kid out really quick, and he had to like he's only like a really big 7-year-old or 6-year-old or something.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, it doesn't really matter. They do all kinds of weird things, even like TV shows where all of a sudden one season the baby, like the next season they're 5 years old because they're like kid actors bring in more views than just a baby sitting there crying on set. Like that's happened a lot, like throughout just TV shows and movies. Like I feel like didn't they age like the kids and the Look Who's Talking movies as well? So it's not really
remember.
like I guess it's not really that much of a thing, and people didn't really care that much because there was only 2 years between the movies, anyways. But
Yeah.
I feel like the dates just didn't quite line up right for the kid to be. I feel like he's supposed to be about 11.
Nah, maybe not. Yeah, maybe 10
Because
or
like,
11.
my daughter's 11 and he seems to be about the same age as like my daughter. I'm like, he seems like he's about a 10, 11-year-old, like smart enough to kind of get a grasp of what's going on in the world.
I love that the killer dude, the dude who's like a killer assassin, is like has to babysit this kid the whole time, and he's annoyed by him. And every time he says something, he's like, I can't believe I have to do this, take care of this kid that he wants to kill so badly.
So like, they try to do everything a little bigger in this one, and you can tell.
Yeah. Well, it's a sequel. You got to step it up somehow.
So you can definitely tell. Now, some of their bigger moments I really like. Like the one, and I had heard you were talking about it a little bit earlier, and I had watched somebody talking about it last night on a video, and I think, or maybe it was when I was listening to the commentary while I was cleaning one of the watch throughs. So maybe it was through the commentary, but they were talking about the bus scene.
Okay.
And how it almost didn't even make it to the movie because they had to cobble together what they did have.
Well, I was watching the commentary on this, and how they pulled that off is actually crazy. They only had like 10 minutes every hour or something to shoot that, to block off the Tower Bridge.
Yeah, and they were only given 1 day of shooting, weren't they?
They were given 1 day, and they almost got arrested. The cops were like, we don't care if you have permits, you can't shut this down, kind of a thing. So they would basically block it for 10 minutes, let them shoot, let traffic go by for like 50 minutes, and then they had to like really put that thing, like figure out how to make that work.
I mean, that whole scene is a solid 7-8 minutes. Like, so for them to be able to cobble that much together with what, maybe 90 minutes of footage, Which
you gotta think, this is like
when you really think about it from like a filmmaker's perspective, 90 minutes of footage is not very much to work with.
And you gotta think this is a sequel to probably one of the biggest blockbusters in a while, probably the biggest blockbuster in '99. They're making a sequel. They can't even shut down, you know, which is crazy to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I suppose like other countries they're just like, we're not going to let your projects impose on our everyday life kind of deal, you know?
No, even now, I mean, that's why like now, which they kind of did some stuff, but like you look at Fast and Furious and stuff and how they get away with those car chase scenes down these busy London streets and everything. And nowadays the technology is different. They don't even need to be there. They just need to build part of it in a parking lot and CGI the rest.
Yeah. So they can just do a parking lot somewhere down in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Because it is so flat and everything's just, you know, they can just green screen everything around it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of racetracks there anyways. Because I've heard they do that in Florida, Georgia, Texas. They even film some stuff in Texas and CGI around it. And so it's really crazy. Like if for some people that like watch movies, but they don't pay any attention to what goes on behind movies, when they start realizing what kind of things it takes to cobble stuff together to make like these big films, it's kind of mind blowing what comes of it, you know, because there's all these hurdles and stuff sometimes just to get one really good scene built. And then you got to think about like something like this. It was just big scene after big scene after big scene because it's a sequel. Like everything was just big. There wasn't very many slow shots.
No, there was no slow shots. The slow, and you think about it, it's like the story was always going. They get back. They don't, you know, when they're in Egypt or Cairo doing the hunt with the kid. 5 seconds later, the tomb robbers are in there and they have to escape. They get home, you know, the bad guys have already basically beat them there, and they're not home for 5 seconds. And she's like, let's go to this place. And he's like, no, we just got home. And then and that's where they kidnap the son or try to kidnap the son, you know. It's constantly going. There's really no slow parts. The slowest part is when they're in the air balloon and they have like a moment of quiet trying to
and you know that even that slow moment cost them money because that was CGI'd. They weren't really up in
that was all
up into the air balloon.
Yeah, that was all green screen.
So even their slowest moment was costing them thousands of dollars as they were filming it. So what I did like, so I looked a little bit more into, just because like nowadays as somebody that's really trying to get more into like the film aspect of it, you know, like I have a son that wants to go to film school. So I'm still, you know, I'm trying to learn more about like the back end sides of it. I really felt that this was really impressive what it did for the box office. Like it only cost them a little bit more and they made all that little bit more back. Like they didn't overspend like they do nowadays, you know?
They massively, it was planned. The director was talking about on the commentary how much everything they did was written. It was written, it was planned. It wasn't like we have an idea and let's just go shoot it and we'll figure it out in post. Like nowadays they go into production without having anything fully done or realized, and they're constantly reshooting and changing. He was like, no, we shot everything that we wrote.
As big as Brendan Fraser was, and he knew how big the first Mummy was, he wouldn't sign on to this one until there was an actual script written.
Mm-hmm.
And you would have figured in 2002, that was about the time like we had this from Brendan Fraser, and there wasn't much after.
No.
You know what I mean? Like Hollywood didn't give him much of a chance after this movie. And it wasn't because of how this movie performed. It performed great. He just kind of like, for some reason, lost that spark that Hollywood wanted him to have. And I don't understand because he did like that Vengeance Fury, and he did like some kids movies and stuff. And then he just kind of.
Yeah, George of the Jungle and Dudley Do-Right just did not work for him.
Yeah. And they just kind of, you know, so. I find it crazy because at this moment he was on top of the world and he could have like He could have took anything. He could have said no to anything. So that's what I liked about, like, this is when sequels were still like, they were being realistic with what they could do with a sequel in terms of like box office and what it would cost to get actors back. Like Brendan Fraser wasn't like, I'm not going to come back unless I make this amount of money. He was like, I'm not going to come back unless the script looks right. And nowadays you got actors that are like, I'm not coming back unless the paycheck's right. And I don't give a two shits what the script even is. Like, I'll get in front of the camera and say anything. I mean, we had that with Joker 2 last year. You know, they literally got in front of the screen and said whatever they wanted to because they wouldn't do it without a certain paycheck, and they got that paycheck, so they did it. And I feel like there's a lot of movies and sequels that are just made like that now, like sequels that don't even need to be made.
If you think about it too, the director also didn't do anything big after this.
No, he decided to take, like, well, I noticed he basically just decided to produce stuff afterwards. He was like, I made a lot of money, and then he was just like, I'll put my money into places that I think will be fine. And he put money into every single Scorpion King movie. I'm not sure why he put it into like part 4 and 5, but he did.
Well, I think he's just credited as executive producer. That's kind of something you have to give to some, like the original.
Right.
People. I don't know how much he was actually involved, but I mean, the director after this, he did Van Helsing, which I think is really good.
I love Van Helsing. It's one of my favorite 4Ks because the first 15 minutes of the movie's in black and white.
Oh,
and it looks so good.
Well, I don't know if he did that before or after this. When did he do this?
I think that was 03.
Okay, yeah.
I think it was after, but he didn't do much after Van Helsing.
No, he did the G.I. Joe movie, which I didn't really care for.
I've never watched it.
And then it's not good. And then he did a movie called Odd Thomas.
Okay, Odd Thomas is supposed to be really good.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I've always wanted to, and I've heard nothing but good things. But that's kind of his last two things. Are those movies? I don't know if he's just stuck to producing and stuff, or he made so much money with the Mummies, he was like, I'm good.
I mean, sometimes some of them guys make a nice big fat check and they invest it just right. They never really have to do much else in terms of like working that hard as a director again. And because I know that this movie was hard on the director too. He talked about how hard it was for him to try to convey to everybody what was going to be on the screen, because it was a whole bunch of people yelling at broomsticks, basically.
and also, at this time period, the directors had a lot more in residuals. Like, residuals aren't a thing as much anymore with streaming and all these things. So he's still making money off the Mummy.
Yeah, they don't really do residuals like that too much anymore, I don't guess. You pretty much...
They don't do it at all with streaming. Streaming is, we're going to pay you a flat rate.
Yeah. It's pretty much like a one paycheck and done.
It's a one pay. That's why people are making so much money off streaming, because there are no residuals in streaming.
Which is kind of crazy, because like I was watching an interview with that guy. His name's Hector something or other, but he plays Hector in like a whole bunch of movies. Like, his real name is Hector, and like,
I know who you're talking. Yeah, I know.
And he was doing an interview about the first time he ever acted. He was in a commercial, and he kept getting these paychecks, and he was like, "What is this? I think they're overpaying me." And the guy was like, "Nah, this is how actors are paid. They get residual checks." He's like, "Well, damn, I want to be an actor then." Like, back in the day, I'm sure that would draw people in to want to be actors. But now it's like, hey, you're going to do this project, you're going to get this set amount, and you'll never get paid from it again. But we'll keep re-releasing this movie over and over, different editions, $80 steelbook big box editions, and you'll never see another penny from it again. And everybody will talk about how great this movie was and you were in it, but that's all you'll ever get is that. Like, that's kind of how movies seem to be for like actors and producers and directors nowadays. Like, it's like you shoot your shot and then you're done.
Yeah, and I think that's probably why, like, after, I mean, I'm sure the Mummy 2 was really hard on him, and then Van Helsing was probably really hard. But I think Mummy 2 just, I don't know, it holds. I think we lost that sense of adventure in movies. Like, the Mummy had, I mean, even like National Treasure, you know, had that. It's from that same time period. Had that adventure kind of feel to it. I don't think adventure movies are as much of a thing anymore, because the closest I can think of wasn't a good movie, but that That one that was based off a video game with Tom Holland.
Uncharted.
Uncharted. Yeah.
And honestly, the movie was pretty close to the game in terms of like the aesthetics.
The problem was
Mark Wahlberg, they literally could have just pulled the story from the first game, and it would have been a way better story than what they gave us.
No, they gave us the fourth. They basically gave us the fourth story.
Yeah, and I really did not like the casting of Tom Holland.
I didn't like Tom Holland, and I did not like Mark Wahlberg.
I don't really remember Mark Wahlberg in it all that much, so I probably didn't like him either.
They didn't do anything. Their whole like, I don't know, they're like, yeah, part of it's cool. You get the pirate ships, you know, flying in the air when they're trying to do stuff, but it didn't have that same weight as like the Mummy Returns.
I mean, they even tried to bring back Tomb Raider recently, and that didn't do anything. It like fluttered at the box office.
Yeah, I don't mind the new. Honestly, I don't mind the new Tomb Raider. It's not as good as the Angelina Jolie one, but I mean, it's not that bad.
Yeah. See, I haven't seen it yet, but everybody knows like, oh, it's not as good as the Angelina Jolie one. It's basically just like the game, and I'm like, isn't that what we want?
It's not as good, but it's still it's not that bad, I don't think. But yeah, it's like The Mummy 2. I also like how they gave what's her name a bigger role, and not Sailor Moon, the bad girl. How they gave her a bigger role. So Rachel Weisz,
his
mistress,
the Mummy's side, the Mummy's slice of pie or whatever.
Yeah. They gave her a bigger role too, because it was kind of the same thing. So like Rachel Weisz is like a princess reincarnate, so we're gonna have the mistress be a reincarnation too, except the mistress knows who she is. She knows she's a reincarnation, where Rachel Weisz is trying to figure it out the whole time.
Like I said, that was probably one of my favorite things, is like how much screen time she ended up getting in this, because like they do that whole like katana fight and all that stuff. Cool. And the choreography of that is great. Like it works really well. Like it looks right.
And the director,
I don't watch a lot of fighting movies, but
and the director was saying that the like that flashback scene was, I think, 75% really them. They only used the stunt doubles for like a little bit of it, probably when their masks were on at the beginning, and then once they take the mask off and continue to fight, it's probably like mostly really them.
Wasn't there one time when one of them did the splits?
Yeah, one did the split, and then Rachel Weisz like does a backflip off a wall or something. Yeah, they're doing the back handspring tumbles down the thing. Yeah, those are the stunt doubles.
Nah, those are totally the actors. Like, if you can get actors that can do that too and act as good as they did, wow.
Well, I mean, that's going back to Tom Holland. I think Tom Holland was actually like a gymnast or something like that. He does a lot of his own stunts in Spider-Man, or he did in the first one.
Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't. I didn't like him as Drake, and I liked the game.
I didn't like him either as Drake. Like they messed that up.
Oh well, that was Looney Tunes Back in Action is after The Mummy Returns. That's
Oh, dude.
Yeah. Brendan Fraser was in.
Oh yeah, Brendan Fraser was.
Was that Alicia Silverstone?
Oh yeah. Were they in multiple movies? Because I'm thinking of Blast from.
But they were in Blast from the Past. Was that her?
I forgot they were in the movie.
I think that was her in that one as well.
It might have been.
Somebody in here knows.
It's been so long since I've seen. I think he did. So Van Gogh said he did 2 G.I. Joe movies. I think he just did the first one. Did he do the second one too?
I
think he just did the first one.
Yeah, I thought he had just done the first one as well. When I was looking through his stuff, I didn't see him in the second one.
I know he produced.
But he may have produced.
He produced the second one,
which would make sense as to why The Rock was cast in it.
Yeah. No, oh wait, right. Yeah, no, he just did Rise of Cobra, the first one. Yeah, it was Mummy Returns, Van Helsing, and then G.I. Joe. And Odd Thomas was his last movie.
I need to watch Odd Thomas. I wonder if that's streaming anywhere.
It probably is.
Yeah,
it's on Tubi.
Yeah. Yeah, it's on Tubi. Nice. I got a new Star Wars shirt. It's got Vader on it. Thought it was pretty cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, she was like, "What shirt are you wearing?" Because I think you can just every once in a while see Star Wars pop up.
Just randomly.
I got my chair all the way boosted up, but man, I got all my stuff was always seems like it's way higher up than I need it to be. And if I make it too low, then like there's a whole bunch of stuff on my desk that you'd see in front of me, and it's just like camera position's always funky. Oh, but like now I found it funny because like I can't remember this dude's name, but that guy, the dude.
Oh yeah, the guy from Resident Evil.
Yeah, he so he was supposed to be killed off in the first one.
Oh well, he probably did such a great job. They were like, "No, we got to keep this guy." Or his test screenings, they really liked him, so they decided to.
Yeah, because there's an alternate cut, I guess, of the original or an alternate ending, or something, or maybe the script changed. But he said that he was supposed to die at the very end of the first one when all the stuff is like falling down. He was supposed to die and be buried in the pyramid, but he didn't do that. He just cut that scene got cut out in editing is what it was. So he never died, but technically off script or off screen and in script, he had passed away. But when the movie came out, his character was such good fan reception, they just bypassed that they'd ever wrote him off dead and brought him back for this. And he had a pretty big role in this. I mean,
oh yeah, he had a huge role in this. Yeah,
so I find it funny that he got such a big role in this, and they almost killed him off in the last one. Like he was, by all technicalities, kind of dead.
I've only seen him. I've never seen him in anything else except for The Mummies and Resident Evil.
And he was in what was that? Was that the fourth Resident Evil?
I think he came in the. Did he come in the second one? Second or third one? He came in. I forget which one. I forget.
But he had like short hair in that, didn't he?
Yeah.
It was like crew cut. It was like crew cut.
Yeah. Very different look.
I don't remember him in anything else. He probably isn't in anything else.
But yeah, his character, and then like what was it? His bird died.
That bird was like email before email. It seems like that bird was getting all over the place with those messages.
I love. He was in Deuce Bigalow. Yeah, he was the big. Yeah, he was the guy whose house he was sitting. That's right. Yeah, I totally forgot he was in Deuce.
Dude, those movies need Blu-rays.
Yeah, they haven't even got
very Blu-ray. Least.
I think Disney owns them.
That's my thing, man. I don't care. Like, yeah, if you think everything needs a 4K, I just want things to be upgraded to high definition. Like, to me, high definition is standard definition at this point. We're 20 years into it. Like, let's just get some Blu-rays out. Let's get everything kind of onto the Blu-ray. Plus, they're super durable. I'm still just pissed off about Just Friends, man. There's still not a pre-order up for that.
I'm literally looking right now for like, is there a
I don't think there's a pre-order for it.
Probably not. It's supposed to come out. I think it's scheduled for next week. It's going to get pushed back again.
Yeah, if they don't have a pre-order up before within 2 weeks of it coming out, it's getting pushed back.
It's supposed to come out, and it says 1 week, April 8th. I'm like, it's not coming out April 8th.
And that's Warner Archive. They're usually pretty good. It's because it's the one movie I want. Like, I don't care about nothing else Warner Archive doing.
They're like, nope, not gonna have it.
It's like I don't care about nothing else Warner Archive's doing. I just want Just Friends. I just want that one. And they're like, keep the DVD. I mean, I could import it. I know I have my region-free player and everything.
I was about to say I got the Blu-ray, but I like the American.
Now, are you gonna get the Warner Archive one? I mean, I know you're a fan of the movie like I am, but are we getting like a 25 gig to a 50 gig type of upgrade between the Region B and the new one?
Yeah, we're getting an upgrade, and me importing from Germany is not, or like any country is not always for a lot of movies it's a temporary thing until the official one until the one here comes out. Like I'll double dipping at both. But yeah, it is the German one's 25, this new one's supposed to be a 50.
Okay. See, I'm still trying to figure out how I want to, because I'm so new into it. I'm still trying to figure out how I want to start tiptoeing into other regions, because it's like every time I start thinking, oh, that's a good deal on that region B. Like I was at Orbit and they have a whole ass aisle of just region B. And every movie I'm looking at, I'm like, yeah, $20 and it plays in that one player I have, but there's a 4K of this for 30. And it's kind of like, to me, I don't want to import or get imported movies if for $10 more, they would just play in all my players anyways.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really think I want to use, I don't really want to use my region free player to save $10. I want to use my region free player to get movies that they're not going to give me in the US. You know, but it's getting harder and harder to figure out what movies they're not going to give us, because we're getting like everything almost, you know. I mean, they're starting to give us comedies.
Yeah, that's crazy. But there's still a lot that are like, what is it, like American Pie, the 4K, but only international. Austin Powers only has a 4K international.
Is that 88 Films as well for Austin Powers? I think that was some company I'd never heard of before.
But from what I've heard, the reason I didn't get it, one, I hate the artwork, and two, I've heard it's the international cut only, and I think the international cut just has, it's basically it's the same movie, but it's different. I think it adds a lot of the deleted scenes in there,
like from like the TV cut,
something like that. Yeah, so I'm just like, I've heard it wasn't as good if you didn't grow up with that version. So I'm just gonna wait.
I mean,
like,
I grew up watching the green VHS or something. It was some kind of color, I think.
Yeah, they each had different colors.
But for the original one, I grew up, maybe it was yellow. I can't remember.
I think it was, yeah. The first one's yellow, the second one's red, I think, and the third one's blue. Maybe?
Blue, yeah. We watched the first one so much VHS that it jumped. You know, like it would just jump. It had a constant jump at the top of the screen. But I remember the first time I ever watched it on TBS, like I was kind of offended because they took some of my favorite parts out and they put in this stuff I had never seen before. I'm like, there's more Seth Green, but it's not good Seth Green. Like, because they extended some of the Seth Green scenes, and it's not like there's a reason why those were cut.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the international cut are those cut scenes in there and everything.
Yeah, I mean, and somebody said that I seen earlier in the post or earlier in the chat. You know, they're apparently bringing the Mummy back.
Yeah, I think they're talking about doing another one with Brendan Fraser and I believe Rachel Weisz. I think they're both coming back, but I know Brendan Fraser is definitely. They've been talking about it. I mean, they need to. I mean, because they messed the Mummy up with Tom Cruise. I mean,
I think they did. I've never even seen it, but like I've walked in to like my dad watching it. I'm like, this doesn't look good. It looks like a Tom Cruise movie.
It's very much a Tom Cruise movie. It has the Mummy is so bad. And then they got another movie. The only thing I'm worried about is they have another Mummy movie coming out from the director who did. I saw the poster. It's another one. Let me
Is it another Blumhouse one? From like Wolfman and Invisible Man?
Kind of. I think. I don't know.
I mean, because I know that Universal is trying to use that Invisible Man movie from like 5 years ago as like a jumping off point to bring back like the Universal monsters. Man, that seems like a really bad idea to go 5 years back.
It's a Blumhouse one. It's from the guy who did Evil Dead Rises. He has a Mummy. It's supposed to come out next year. But it's a Blumhouse movie, and I'm scared that one is going to turn studios away from redoing the Brendan Fraser one.
Man, I hope not. I hope they're already putting money into it and it's already happening before that other one
scheduled to release. I think it's already done. Oh God, it's got. Oh God, I can already.
Oh, he's got some. He's got some.
Well,
Bad
you know who's playing the main guy?
No.
The guy from. Oh God, he was in Transformers 4. He was the boyfriend, and he was also in Midsommar. He played the boyfriend in that. Who? I don't know if you've seen Midsommar.
I haven't seen either one of those. Well, I might have seen
You haven't
Transformers.
seen Transformers: Age of Extinction?
I may have seen. I think I have, but it's been so long. Like I bought it like when it came out on 3D. I watched it once. And
He's
I think
not a good at. He's not a good. I don't like him very much.
He might actually be the reason why I stopped watching the Transformer movies. To be honest with you, because I watched part 4 and then I bought last night, but I've never even watched it because I was like, Mark Wahlberg didn't do much for me.
Yeah, no, I wonder if it's the same. Hold on, The Mummy upcoming. It doesn't say anything about the film. It looks like they're in production right now. They're filming it, but
I feel like it'll be in the same style as like now. See, I haven't seen The Invisible Man. I got it sitting back there. I need to. But
the way this guy looks, he looks like like he would be like they're trying to replace Brandon. I'm like, just put Brandon Fraser and Rachel Weisz in the movie together.
I mean, because honestly, if they try to do like what they did with Wolfman, I don't know if I'm gonna like it.
No, like, I oh God, I hope not. God,
because I kind of feel like they're trying to use Blumhouse to kind of kickstart that again, you know.
Well, they had one successful movie with Invisible Man, which I really didn't like anyway. And then they're like, here's the keys to the Universal franchise. Go do what you want. And Wolfman bombed.
And honestly, I hate to be like this, but I feel like the only reason Invisible Man did good is because it was the only movie in the theater because of, you know, some stuff that was going on in 2020.
Yeah, probably so. Like, I really didn't find it all that good. It had like one of the only scene that really got me in Invisible Man that like shocked me was when they were at the kitchen table and restaurant.
I haven't seen it yet, but I was out shopping with some buddies last year. We were at McKay's, and one of my buddies pulled it off the shelf and he's like, "You need this in your collection," and it was like $8, $9 for the 4K, and I'm like, "Okay, I'll pay $8, $9 for a 4K and check it out. If you say I need to have it in my collection, check it out." But it's been a year and I still haven't watched it. So
yeah, that's not one I would ever want in my collection. Not even it could be a $5 4K. I'm good.
Oh, hey Stacy, thanks for popping in. Hey Sarah. Then we got I enjoyed Wolfman, but was not a monster movie like Universal one. Yeah, but they were trying to sell it like a monster movie. That's where like I was watching it, I'm like, I'm kind of bored with this. Like, it's not what I thought it was going to be, you know. But then again, like I think maybe tonight after we're done streaming, I might try to see if my wife wants to sit down and watch the Monkey, because that's out on home release. And I know that that's supposed to be like a horror comedy. Like I know that going into
I've heard it was more of a comedy.
But I heard so many people getting on YouTube and bitching about it. They're like, it's not a horror movie, it's a comedy. I'm like, it says horror comedy. And they're like, but it wasn't even scary. Okay, well, that's your fault for not knowing what you were going into. Not their fault for it being what it was. But I heard that if you know what it is going into it, it's a lot of fun. So I'm kind of excited to check it out because I like Stephen King. Have I? Yes.
I've never seen that. I know the poster. I know the DVD cover art, but I've never seen it.
It needs a Blu-ray so bad, man. It's on it. Maybe it was last summer. It might still be, but it's one of those John Carpenter movies that it was just running for free on YouTube. It was one of those.
Is that a John Carpenter movie?
Yeah, so it's John Carpenter's only comedy.
I didn't know that. Okay.
And it's a comedy. It's not a horror movie. Like there's a couple little like when the movie's opening up, you're like, oh my God, this is a John Carpenter score. It sounds just like a John Carpenter movie as it's opening up. Like it opens up on like a store and it has like mannequins and stuff. And it kind of opens up like that. And you hear like the ba-ding, you know, the John Carpenter kind of stuff.
Music, yeah.
And there's little bits of elements of like horror in a way because he's an invisible man, but it's a comedy. I mean, it's Chevy Chase and Goldie Hawn, And
Okay.
it's a comedy. It's John Carpenter's only comedy, but it's totally all John Carpenter. Like it feels like a John Carpenter movie all the way through and through. If you've not seen it, definitely. I watched it last year via YouTube. Like I said, it was on YouTube free with ads or whatever. Dude, I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun.
So. The one I'm a big Hollow Man fan. I love Hollow Man.
Dude, Hollow Man's awesome. But then again, like I'll pretty much give anything with Kevin Bacon a chance. Like Kevin Bacon's pretty good damn actor in my opinion. See, anything beats Wolfman.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
I've never seen that one.
Tell that to Chase, Jason. Thank you. That movie sucks.
That movie's that bad, huh?
Yeah. I have the DVD, and I remember when it came out, people were like, you got to watch the director's cut. I'm like, I have the director's cut on DVD. It sucks. That's like going in the purge pile. I don't like that movie so much. I'm probably gonna burn it. I hate that movie. It's better than Bubba Hotep, but it's not a good movie at all. I completely agree. That movie sucked, and it had potential. It really had potential.
See, and that's Benicio del Toro, right? He's like
Benicio del Toro, Anthony Hopkins, Emily Blunt, like. I forget who the director was. It even had a dope ass director.
You know, I'm thinking about it, and it's like I actually remember that coming out and thinking, damn, this has a great cast, and the cover art on the DVD looked awesome. But then I don't remember anybody saying it was good, so I just never watched it.
It's not good.
It had all those perfect little oddities to be the movie you'd pick up off a Blockbuster on a random Friday night. Yep. Knowing nothing about it. Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, I guess it is. It's an action comedy. Big Trouble in Little China.
Oh yeah. That's a little bit of that's an action comedy. That's true.
I always kind of forget about that one. I always forget it's John Carpenter.
I do too.
My dad loves the movie, but he doesn't love it because it's John Carpenter. He loves it because Russell Crowe's in it. Or not Russell Crowe. That's not
I know
Russell
who you're talking about. Russell.
Kurt Russell. Lots of Russells. But because Kurt Russell's in it, and my dad's always been a big fan of like the Escape from New York's and like Tron and all that stuff. No, he's not in Tron either, is he?
No, he's not in Tron.
That's Jeff Bridges. Damn, dude, I'm really bad with names. Definitely don't ask me about actors' names. Every once in a while, I'll be like, they were in this movie, but I don't remember what it was. I'm terrible about that. I have my favorites, but I'm so bad with like names and faces.
Yeah.
Thanks for giving out the sub.
Oh, thank you.
We're gonna get him up to 15K. Where the real dogs are.
I'm nowhere near 15K. Nowhere near.
We'll get you there. We'll get you there. There's some people up there on that 15K that don't have content nearly as good as Last Movie Standing's releasing. That's just my opinion. Dude, you had a really good one hit this week with your format sucking video. That one's hitting really good, and you make a lot of really good points in that.
Thank you.
So if anybody's in here in the chat that hasn't went and watched it, go watch it.
I miss doing those confession videos. I can really only do them when I I don't know. They're very sporadic.
Hey, honestly, those have been some of my favorite ones of yours. I mean, I was already, like watching your stuff before you made your first one, because I think your first one was about maybe around February or March of last year.
Yeah.
And you were talking about Confessions of a Collector or whatever.
Yeah.
But I had found you because I started looking up movies that were stuck on DVD, and you just immediately popped up in my algorithm. Like I think it was like last January, maybe. It was, you were still really new, I feel like.
Yeah, I just started last January. I've only
you only had like
12 months.
6 or 7 videos, and most of them were like, these movies are stuck on DVD, and this movie's a 90 comedy classic. Like those were some of your first ones, and I really that's where I was like, I like what Brian's bringing to the table, because he's talking about stuff that people aren't talking about, and it's good stuff. Like,
Thank you.
And then you start seeing that other people do start talking about it. So You know who sets trends.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, man. I like I said, I enjoy what this kind of stuff you talk about over there. That's why I like sitting down and talking these movies and sequels with you. I just like picking a movie. It gets us a reason kind of just to get together and chit chat anyways and shoot the shit about what's been going on. Another reason why I like doing them every 2 weeks gives us time to kind of watch the movie, reflect on it a little bit, for our next choice. And then if like stories pop up in the 2 weeks, we got a little bit of something else to talk about while we're just hanging out, chit chatting. Because it's been a kind of a crazy 2 weeks with movies being pulled off shelves and things being canceled and new announcements of like movies we never thought would come out. So
yeah, it's crazy how much actually gets announced and stuff. Like even like I don't know, do you ever watch Orbit DVD's live streams on Instagram?
Yeah. He actually pops up every once in a while and was like, "Hey, we got the Juggalo in here again." So
I almost made a video about it, but I'm trying to figure out how to navigate it. He said, because he was talking about Daylight, he was told to destroy the copies.
Yeah.
He said he was originally told destroy the copies. No, wait, hold on. I think it's because a lot of people in my comments were all like, "You don't know what you're talking about." It was just a small hold and everything. I'm like, this dude who owns a store, who has connections with all these people, was literally said he was told destroy them.
Yeah, Mark definitely said that. Like I think it was last Thursday. Yeah. It wasn't this past Tuesday or this past Thursday, this last one, but the week before, like not 3 days ago.
He said it again in this last one. That's the first time I heard it. Yeah, he said it again.
Because he's been talking about it. He was like, "Yeah, I was told to destroy the discs, and then I got a very quick email right back to just take them off the shelves and pack them away."
Yeah,
and he even said, he was like, "I wasn't going to destroy them."
Yeah, like, no shop owner was going to destroy it.
You're not going to, like, as much as Mark loves physical media, he's not destroying even discs that might be shoddy. He's not going to do it. No. He's just not. He loves physical media way too much.
Yeah, and I mean, and those things jumped up in price, and I heard it wasn't even that good of a transfer. I've literally not seen one good review.
I've not heard anybody talk good about it. I've heard people say, "Hey, go buy that double pack Blu-ray, and you're just as good."
Yeah, I've heard by the Blu-ray. I've heard Turbine did a German Blu-ray that's way better. Like it's.
I mean, but you know what though? As much of a hype as like something like that made, it's gonna come back.
It's still on Amazon. It's still on Amazon.
Yeah, they're gonna release it. They're gonna release Dante's Peak and Daylight, and they may even release them at the same time. I honestly think it has something to do with how long it took for them to get it released. And Universal's kind of like spanking them a little bit. Like you guys took too long to release this, and it's not good.
I heard it's something to do with the writer, because the writer did both of those, and there was some rights issue with him, and he didn't approve it, and he found out about it last minute or something. And
dang, man, that guy don't pay no attention, because I mean, Kino announces their stuff like 16 months before they release it.
Dude, like they announced Road Trip today with no date. I'm like, that'll be next year.
Yep. I'll be buying that for next spring.
Yeah, I don't like how they announce stuff without dates. Like, give us dates. Like,
I mean, we all just dates. Well, I've been seeing everybody just picking up Uncle Buck, but they announced that last February. It took them a year to get Uncle Buck out.
Yeah, the way they announced Bottoms 2 years ago. That Bottoms has been on IMDb under Kino. I mean, not IMDb, Blu-ray.com under Kino, releasing it for like well over a year.
So I'm starting to think that, like, I kind of think Kino. I don't think Kino has a lot of money when it comes to like what they have like in their wallet type of deal. And what they do is they announce the movie to get like a surge of money from like producers and stuff at the time to go ahead and start doing that restoration. Like they get the rights,
almost like feelers,
and they kind of get feelers, and then they prioritize what gets the most excitement online, and that's what they start restorating first. And then that's why some movies take a year, and some movies are out in 6 months, and some are out in 3 months. Like Kino's all over the place when stuff comes out.
That might be, but I also feel like they just get excited and they're like, look what we are getting. And then it's like, not saying we're getting it, but we gotta wait. We're just trying to get you excited to show you that we're getting
it. Like they try to do that second wind. Like we got the announcement, and then 6 months later it releases, so they get that second wind, and everybody has Keno's name in their mouth with that release twice.
I feel like that doesn't work. I feel like most physical media, I'm like, don't even give me a preview. Say this is out tomorrow, today. It's out now.
I mean, most of us that want to buy the physical stuff, as soon as it's announced, we know we want it or we don't. They don't need to dangle a carrot in front of my face for 6 months. Like, take my money 9 months before it comes out. You know, like that stuff kind of sucks.
yeah, exactly. You know, yeah.
Johnny, dude, thanks for popping in. Thanks for being a member, dude. Nice. All right, he just made me accountable. I have to make a new members video. I gotta get some members stuff out.
Dude, I always forget. I'm so bad at that, to add like the members and Patreon things at the end of my videos. I have to make myself a post-it note to put on here to like remind myself to do that, because I never think about it.
I was thinking about just like, I know it's kind of like maybe lazy to do it this way, but I was thinking about just like recording me a one clip like outro type of deal that I just attach to the end, and I throw over like a picture of the current members over that same voice clip, so I don't have to keep recording the same saying slightly the same thing every time. I can just be like, thank you for being my members, and just like throw their names up, and then just like, you know, something like that. But then I still like the idea of, if I'm sitting right here in front of the camera and I'm recording the video, it just feels more realistic to just say it in the moment of making the video. Like I feel like I come off a little bit more genuine as to being like thankful for the members if I'm always remembering to do it, kind of deal. So I don't know. I never expected anybody to actually do it. So I appreciate everybody giving me a couple bucks about this. Just like, hey, thanks. Like, in a couple months when YouTube decides I'm allowed to take that payout, I'll go buy me a movie. It's great. Yeah. I love it though. Thanks, Johnny. I hope you're doing well tonight, my friend, Mr. Cool Kid. He was one of the first people I had on my channel for a podcast. We just kind of got together, and I don't remember what we were talking about. I think we were just showing off some new stuff we got.
Oh, nice.
So that was about a year ago. We were just kind of getting together and showing off things. And I was like, well, maybe I can get some people together every 2 weeks, show off what we got. And I never really found anybody that wanted to do that every 2 weeks, just to kind of, it got to the point where about that time I was wanting to do that is about the time that like the prices of the discs started going up. So people started getting less, and they were like, I don't know if I want to show off the fact that I used to get like 8 movies. Now I'm getting 2. Like, there was a little bit of that going on about a year ago. So I was like, oh, I get it. I'll just keep making videos every day then, where I show off what I got.
Yeah. Making videos every day is hard.
Yeah. I just try to make sure I release one on Wednesday every week. Like, I think I started last March, so it's been right about a year. I did a couple on like Tuesday nights, and then I did one on Wednesday, and it really hit hard. Like, it just like hit the algorithm just right. And I'm like, I'm just gonna record one and release it every Wednesday. I've just not been consistent on the time that I like unlock it or whatever, but every Wednesday I'm like, I'll just release one every Wednesday. And if I do a live stream on the weekend, I do. And if I decide I wanted to make another video bitching about something, I will. So
yeah, I was actually debating doing my first, it was gonna be just so spontaneous, my own like first live stream last night. I just didn't do it, but I need to start. I need to start doing that. It's just hard to figure out times because other creators are doing it too, like, you know, and figuring out times. But
yeah, the times is always the hardest part. Like, and that's the reason why I have like such a hard time just in general reaching out to anybody, being like, hey, you want to do a stream? Because it's like, I'm always thinking, you know, time is like the only currency we really truly have, and it's like I hate to ask people for that kind of currency if I feel like they could probably be doing something better with their time. That's where I get to, you know. I'm like, do they really want to hang out with me and spend their time? So I have such a hard time reaching out to people. So that's what I've really enjoyed about like hanging out and being friends with you, man. You've been like yeah, man, let's just do some stuff. Let's just talk some movies. Let's just hang out. Like, I've really enjoyed that. That's been really cool. Like, that's probably been the best thing about like just doing YouTube and like Instagram stuff just in general. You know?
Yeah, no, I like jumping on other people's stuff, talking. That's what I think. That's why I'm nervous about doing my own. I'm like, I'm still in that like, what if like one person shows up, like, and then it's like we'll just talk to that person for an hour or so. Like, who cares? You know?
Yeah. So that was my thing for the longest time. I kept telling people, well, I don't want to go live if I can't get anybody to come on and be like a guest with me and nobody's in the chat. Am I just going to sit here and twiddle thumbs? Like, I'm always worried about that. So I'm like, well, I need to get somebody that will just like every once in a while want to stream with me in case nobody shows up. At least we have something to talk about and I don't look like an idiot.
Yeah. Yeah.
But hey, I always have great people popping up in my chats. Like I always have great friends popping in here hanging out. So I never can complain. Like, great people show up for me. But yeah, dude, that is right. That's pretty much the reason why we all kind of stopped, because there used to be multiple channels that would do like, hey, this is what we picked up, this is our haul. They do like little round tables and have 4 or 5 people on just kind of showing stuff off. But I think it's just gotten to the point where like you can make a video showing off the 3 things you got in the last 2 weeks, and that'll hit better than just sitting around doing a live stream, because you can't find that many people buying that much stuff anymore.
Yeah, I try to do my haul videos very sporadically. They're not planned. It's just kind of like, oh wow, I actually collected more than I thought. Let's do a haul video.
I mean, I was thinking about doing like monthly haul videos, and then I got to the point where it's like, well, I'm just going to show things off kind of as I get them, and then if I get to the end of the month and I have stuff that I haven't shown, I'll just do a everything else video type of deal so I can get it on my shelves, because I sit all my stuff in a box kind of to the side until I show it off or whatever, and then I just put it away. So that's kind of I mean, I know we all kind of have our stacks.
Yeah, my stack feels like it's never ending.
Mike, no use for her last name. What's up, Mike? Sup, Jay? Sammy was in a post-apocalyptic zombie movie sequel. The first film was called End Survival. We got to hang out on set for a few hours while he did some scenes. It was cool to see. Oh, dude, that's awesome. Sammy is his son, which
okay.
I'm trying to think, man, we're getting kind of old here. I would assume your son's probably about 11 now, right? 12, something like that. So that's pretty cool. I've never heard of the movie End Survival, but I'll check it out. I like zombie movies. And they were filming in Florida, so it's probably very swampy. It's probably a swampy zombie movie.
I haven't seen a good zombie movie in a while, actually, now that I think about it.
I still watch the old ones, like Zombie and Dawn of the Dead. And there's just like the classics. Do they make a good one anymore? Like, what was the last good Zombieland? Was
the
really
first
good.
One. The first one.
I didn't say Double Tap.
I don't even remember much about the second one.
I don't either. The only thing I remembered was that I was impressed they actually got all the cast back.
Oh, the cat, yeah, same.
I was very impressed, because there was like what 6 or 8 years or something like that. 8 years between the sequels.
And Emma at that time had really blown up.
And I mean, and what was his name? Jesse Eisenberg hadn't really went anywhere. So it was kind of surprising that they kind of got them all back together.
Woody will do anything.
Yeah, I mean, Woody is just in a new one that's on Amazon right now called Last Breath.
Okay.
It's a underwater deep dive. It's about a true life.
Yeah,
it's about a true life story.
Is that the one with Simu Liu in it?
I think so. The guy from Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
It's got him, Woody Harrelson, and Emma Watson. I think it's Emma Watson.
Okay, yeah, I remember seeing the trailer for that, but that wasn't. I don't know. When it comes to Amazon movies, it's just.
I don't usually like Amazon movies, but I usually don't mind anything that Woody Harrelson's in. Like I've watched a bad movie that had Woody Harrelson in it, and I still liked his part. You know, like it's kind of I have a few actors where I'm like, I can watch a bad movie and forgive the whole bad movie around this
one person. Character. Yeah. the depending on the person, yeah, I totally agree.
Well, we are getting old, dude. Turning 13 this year. Yeah, that's right. Oof. Dang. Whew. Train to Busan. Now, see, I've never seen Train to Busan.
That's a good one.
I almost bought it. They had it at this Walmart I went to. It had that the clearance 4K steelbook, and it was like $16. I'm like, oh, it's such a great deal. And I went to go pick it up, and it was crushed. I'm like, yeah, not even for $16 will I get a crushed steelbook. For $5, I might, just so I can watch the movie.
I think I just have that on DVD though. I need to upgrade that. I think I just have the DVD.
I feel like it rotates through streaming services pretty regularly because it's such a big film.
Yeah, right? And I think they're supposed to be remaking it, like an American remake. Some stupid.
Now that's the same guy that did Parasite as well, right? Bong Joon-ho or whatever.
No, he didn't do Train to Busan.
He didn't do Train to Busan. See, I have a hard time keeping up with all of them, man. It's like I was telling my dad the other day. He was asking about a movie. I don't remember exactly what it was, and I told him, I was like, he was like, it ain't that old. It came out in November. I was like, Dad, November is like a lifetime ago when it comes to movies. Movies are coming at us so fast. If you don't watch it and talk about it, think about it when it first comes out, it just gets lost in the mix. Like, I ain't trying to be rude about it, but that's just, even good movies, they just kind of get boom. Like people like at the end of the year, we'll talk about, well, did you see this movie? It was really good. No, dude, it came out back in March. I just happened to miss it. Well, it was good. And nobody talked about it because it got buried. Like that just really, that tends to really happen with a lot of movies now. Even good ones get buried. Like Anora won 5 Oscars? How many people are going to be talking about Anora in September? Nobody. Like people will be talking about it in July. I'll be one of those ones.
I'll be talking about it in November.
Yeah. We'll talk about it in July and we'll talk about it in November because people will be picking up that Criterion. But in terms of like
the people who saw it, people will buy it in May and July because it comes out in May.
Yeah,
I'm not picking it up till July when it's 50% off. People are going to see it, and they'll actually see if they like it or not before November hits. It'll either be yes, I recommend this, or no, I don't recommend.
Yeah. Now, see, I haven't seen it yet, but I did see that it was on Hulu, so I might give it a go because I'm about to let my Hulu go.
That's the movie that I was like, so. No, there was another movie. Because I was talking to somebody about Porky's. I made that video, Porky's in the streaming.
Yeah.
And it was like Fox owns it, but they don't even have it on Hulu. You can watch Anora on Hulu, but you can't watch Porky's. You can watch something even more inappropriate on Disney Plus. But
I was gonna say technically you can watch Anora and what was that other one last year with Emma Stone?
Poor Things.
You can watch both those on Disney Plus. You can watch both those movies if you have Disney Plus and you have Hulu. Hulu is all baked into Disney Plus now.
Yeah,
you go right into like I go into my adult profile and literally Poor Things was on Disney Plus at the top scrolling, and Anora is now too. And it just blows my mind. But then again, we are kind of different than the rest of the world because in Canada, all Hulu is just built into Disney and always has been.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Apparently everywhere else in the world, Disney embraces their adult side. It's only in the United States.
It's only in America to deal with certain people
It's only in the United States where Disney's like, we're family friendly and only family friendly. Everywhere else in the world, they're like, nah, look at this. We're big slinging. They don't care anywhere else. It's only in the US. It's like they got this facade that they were only family friendly in the US and they just rolled with it. And it's just, so to me, it blows my mind. But everywhere else in the world, they're like, well, yeah, we knew Poor Things was coming to Disney because we don't have Hulu. Where else are they going to put it? It's like, well, I guess that makes sense, but it doesn't to me. Like, it just blew my mind.
That's crazy.
Because that's how I watched Poor Things. Was I watched it through the Disney Plus app, and the whole time I'm watching it, I'm like, I feel a little dirty about this. I'm watching Poor Things on Disney.
That's a weird. Yeah, I would feel weird too. You got Bluey and Poor Things, like right there.
Right. And if I'm gonna watch something like Poor Things or Anora through the Disney Plus app, I gotta do that at like late at night when the kids are in bed because they're gonna be like, Daddy's about to watch Bluey, and they want to sit down and try to watch Disney with me. I'm like, no, this is adult Disney.
they're gonna go into your app the next morning and be like, because you watched Anora, you might like this, and it's like, oh.
Luckily enough, Disney, when Disney incorporated Hulu into like their whole app, they set up like where you got your kids' profiles. So like on each of my kids' TVs, it's locked onto their kid's profile, and they need like a PIN number that I can change on my phone at any given time. But they don't have any access to anything PG-13 or above. So because there's some Disney movies that are PG-13, like National Treasure, I think is PG-13. Because I locked my son.
I can see that there's some sexual innuendo in that movie. Very little.
Yeah. But like it's nothing that kids are going to catch on to.
Yeah.
You know, like I don't even know if I caught on to it when I was a teenager because I'm just sitting there like Nicolas Cage is getting treasure and kicking ass. Like I didn't probably get the innuendos either. But oh, we got Chris in here. What's up, Chris? Chris C, the film nerd, or some people know him as Chris C, the slasher dude. He does a lot of horror stuff over on his channel. So if I can get one of my moms to just throw his channel link in, if you're not subscribed, please go over and show my dude some love. He just did a video yesterday on something from 1984. I can't remember the movie, but it was a horror movie from 1984, and it wasn't Body Double.
It wasn't Body. You remember that part?
Yeah, I remember it wasn't Body Double. I do show my DVDs middle of the day collection update. I share my movies with movie studios. Nice.
Oh, nice.
Oh, we got some more highs in there. But yeah, I always just found that crazy. So like, you know, and I also can't, I don't understand why they don't have The Mummy on, this is just another reason why I like physical media in general, but why isn't The Mummy on Peacock? Peacock is owned by Universal.
I don't know. That's a weird question. If it's
because when I went to go look up if it was streaming, because I was thinking about this was my mindset with the streaming, right? I'm like, I don't own The Mummy Returns through like my Vudu or anything, but I want to put it on my phone when I'm in the kitchen loading the dishwasher or whatever. So I'm going to see where it was streaming at, and I was like, why isn't it on Peacock? It should be on Peacock. It's just one of those things where like that's something that I dislike about the streaming. You know, that stuff just kind of, that movies that are owned by even the companies, they don't keep them on their own streaming services. They move them to other ones.
No, yeah, they rotate. Yeah, they rotate so much. It's not. I mean, I was gonna say sustainable. That's not the right word I'm looking for, but it's misleading. It's like, oh, it's a Universal movie. I'll get Peacock, and it's like, nope, not on there. It's on you buy the streaming service, and you realize, oh, I can watch The Mummy 2 on Tubi for free.
Yeah, it's getting to where what I'm thinking with in terms of like streaming services, you don't even get streaming services anymore for your old movies. You get streaming services for the new release movies because like new theater movies are coming to streaming within like 45 days now.
Yep.
Like to even like your
very short amount of time. Very
like
short.
you can go to Vudu, Fandango, whatever it's called now. You can go there. You can buy your digital movie within 30 days of it leaving the theater. Like Mickey 17's already up for digital order, and that movie was just in my theater like last weekend. Right? It'll be on what is it? Mickey 17. It's probably a Max, probably Wonder Brothers or something. It'll probably be on HBO Max by the end of April, which would be less than 45 days after it was in the theater, and it'll be on a streaming service that you can get for like $8 a month. So my thing is I try to pay attention to the studio of the new release movies to determine what streaming service I might want to pay for next month. You know, it's like, oh, these movies are in the theater now in March, so in May I might want to have like whatever Universal's is or Warner Brothers or whatever, because that new movie will come out there and I can test drive the movie before I spend the money. So it's super convoluted, and it's so hard. Honestly, it's really hard. I'm learning. It's hard to explain to people that are much older than us how it works, you know, like just to have like an uncle that's like seven or 8 years older, you know, he might be like 45 years old, and he's just like, well, why can't I just get all this stuff on this one streaming service? And he doesn't understand. Well, when he's like, well, where do I find this movie at? Well, you really need to download IMDb, go on there, look for your movie, kind of see where it's streaming from there. Well, I don't want to do all that. Well, then you may never find your movie.
Yeah.
And some people just
becoming a lot of work.
Yeah, some people just can't get that. Like they don't like that, and I don't either, because what it is it's turned into, like, instead of having like your DirecTV box or your Spectrum box with all your channels listed in a guide, you have to go to IMDb and look and see what streaming services you may be already paying for to watch it on.
Dude, I found out like yesterday I was still paying for Shudder and I totally forgot. I haven't watched Shudder in months.
And there's probably been a few things on there you could have watched.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, they're cheap. They're like $5.99, so it's not like anything I ever noticed. But still, I went to go check something. I was like, wait, I'm still paying for Shudder?
Yeah.
Okay,
he was talking Fatal Games, and then here we go. If you want to test drive it, dude, Van Gool says the animated series is on Peacock.
Oh yeah, but I don't have Peacock. Unless I could probably get a free trial actually of Peacock, because I haven't.
Yeah, I feel like Peacock's the easiest to get a free trial from, because if I'm not mistaken, I think I read somewhere not that long ago that Peacock was the least subscribed to premium service.
Really, I believe that.
I mean,
that's the weirdest name. They should.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that, to be honest, I think the biggest draw for Peacock, besides having like Universal and DreamWorks movies at a theater, is that they got The Office.
Yep.
So many people were like, "Oh man, The Office is on Peacock," and now they do like they've been putting pieces of The Office on Peacock that do not have physical media. Like they have extended fan episodes. You can't buy those on physical media. So they're actually locked to Peacock if you're a fan of that show. So I think that's a little dirty, but I guess that's how they get people to subscribe, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't get how they do things over there.
Oh, High Volume Video. What's up, dude? Thanks for being in here, Keith. The Mummy Returns is dope. Yes, it is. Anakasu.
Anaxelamu. That's the chick.
Okay. Yeah, that I can't.
I guess that's what he's saying. I have no idea. He's high right now. I don't know.
I mean, High Volume Video. A Complete Unknown is on Hulu to watch. Complete Unknown.
That's that Bob Dylan movie with Timothy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, okay. So a little little side note here. A buddy of mine runs a Plex server, so I don't always know what things are streaming. I just see things kind of pop up on the Plex, and sometimes I watch them there. I've literally watched things on my buddy's Plex server that I probably have access to on something I pay for. So I always have a hard time remembering where things pop up at. And I'm getting to the point where a lot of my streaming services are going to be going away soon, because I bought like year-long streaming in like June for discounted prices. Mm-hmm. And like I learned that the discounted price, what it is I'm going to be paying the full price, obviously, for the next year. But most of those streaming services actually increase their yearly price since I signed for that. Like when I signed up for Peacock, a year of Peacock was $60. And they said, yeah, you pay $20 for a year of Peacock now, and then your second year will be $60. Well, then they sent me an email like 2 weeks later and said that second year is going to be $80. I'm like, nah, I'm going to go ahead and just hit and do not auto renew. You lost me. Because honestly, like I'd probably pay $60 for the second year, because you gave me such a good deal on the first year at $20 that I wouldn't feel slighted. But like now you just increased it to 80. It's like, nah, Peacock's definitely not worth 80 for a year.
No, not at all.
20 was good, and like 40, I'd probably pay 40 a year for it. But that's probably about the push of it, and that's only because I do watch some TV shows. If a film does not look great, then boom to digital. Does not do great, then boom to digital in weeks. Yeah, even good movies boom digital to weeks. Like me and my wife went out of town on Valentine's Day to go see Hard Eyes, and I told her, I was like, yeah, I want to see Hard Eyes, but we're already in the second week. Like this is the second weekend. Valentine's Day was the second weekend for the movie. I told her, I want to go see it. I said, the sad thing is I know that we're going to go see it. I'm going to really enjoy it, but it'll be on Vudu within 2 weeks because we're seeing it in the second week. It'll be on Vudu on week 4.
Yep.
That's the only thing. If you don't go see it like the week it comes out, you might as well wait. It's kind of the sad thing. I kind of wish they'd gap that a bit more again, because I do like the theater experience. My problem is by the time it's coming home so quick now that I just enjoy the really expensive stuff I bought at home rather than completely going to the theater every single week. It's in my theaters. I only have two screen theaters.
Oh, really?
And they're owned by the same people. I have a 2-screen theater. I can almost see it from my house. I have a 2-screen theater, but then there's another one in the next town over that's about a 20-minute drive. So within 20 minutes, I have 2-screen theaters, but they're owned by the same people. So they only pay for 3 movies at a time, and they play the same movie in both theaters at the same time. So I only get 3 new movies, and sometimes they'll hold all 3 movies for 2 weeks. So we don't change any movies here. And we all know there's somewhere between like 6 and 8 blockbuster type movies trying to come out every week.
Yeah.
I'm missing so much here if I don't drive 45 minutes one way or more to watch them. So that's another issue. They're coming to digital so quick that literally I can spend $20, rent the movie on Vudu while it's still on the marquee at my theater, but I can sit here and watch it with all my kids, my wife. I can invite my friends over. We can have our own popcorn, save all this money, and still enjoy the movie. And I hate to be that way because I love the theater experience. It's just in my area, it's becoming almost obsolete when I only get 3 movies every like other week or so. Like they got Black Bag at my theater right now. That came out like 2 weeks ago, and I think it comes out on Vudu next Friday.
Is it coming out already that soon?
I think it is. Like, I think its digital date is like April 7th.
That is so. I feel like that just came out.
Yeah, it came out, I think, two Fridays ago. It came out the week before Snow White. So it had its 1 week leading up, and then Snow White come out, and it was supposed to. Well, we already knew it was going to bomb the box office. Yeah, we already knew it was, but they were hopeful. Hey, it did take the title. It did take a title as the worst opening Disney live action weekend. It took that away from Dumbo. Dumbo is no longer.
It'll win probably the most Razzies in history this year. It'll be nominated for every category. It'll win every category.
I didn't go see it. I mean, I have a daughter that might enjoy it, but to be honest, like, she can watch it when it comes home because I'm not going to watch Snow White. I don't think it's really made for someone like me. But I know that you went and seen it, and I know that you said it's not made for someone like me.
Honestly, it's not the worst. I mean, Captain America was a little worse to me.
I mean, like I said, I've heard that if you are the right audience for it, it's not a bad movie.
No,
my thing that I
told my mom, I called my mom right after and be like, "You would love this."
So I feel like the biggest voices talking about the movie are the voices that the movie wasn't made for.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I've seen like YouTube videos of people of like with bringing their daughters and interviewing their daughters after, and they're like, "Yeah, no."
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I just think maybe it's the wrong audiences that it's finding. But then again, there might not be a big enough audience for the type of movie that they tried to make. Like, I kind of feel like if Lilo and Stitch doesn't do good, Disney needs to just stop with the live actions for a while, because Lilo and Stitch is almost like money in the bag for a certain generation.
That's going to make them $1 billion. I've never seen the cartoon, and I'm interested in Lilo and Stitch after that trailer.
But like, if it's not profitable, it depends really how much money they spent on that Lilo and Stitch movie. If it's not profitable and they say it's a loss leader, that's going to be where I'm like, hey, maybe it's time for you guys to take a break, because I'm 35 years old and I have plenty of friends that are excited about Lilo and Stitch. Like, we are the audience that are interested in that movie 30 to 40-year-olds, really. That's kind of the generation that grew up on the Lilo and Stitch just in general. But the trailer looks good too, so it really depends on how much money they put into it, because they also have planned the Moana live action, and The Rock's going to come and do his part for that, and that could be very good. I love the Moana movies. And
the Moana movies are some of my favorite. I am terrified of the live action remake.
I mean, like I said, it has the potential to be good, but a lot of Disney live action stuff had the potential to be good and been garbage.
Bro, did you hear the rumor? Have you seen Tangled?
Wait, they're going to do Tangled?
Yeah. Have you heard who they're eyeing? From a rumor. This is a rumor of who I heard they're eyeing as Rapunzel.
I probably don't want to know.
Sabrina Carpenter.
She's not even an actress.
Actually, I think she was an actress before she became a pop singer. But
I mean, my son will be excited about it. He loves that.
That's
girl,
yeah, your son's gonna be excited because she's a bona fide sex pot right now. That's how she advertises and markets herself. But Rapunzel is like a good, I don't see her as Rapunzel. When I see Sabrina Carpenter, all I see is cake maker. She literally looks like a drag queen. I can't tell if she's a man or a woman because she wears so much makeup.
Yeah,
I'm not saying she's not pretty. I think she's gorgeous, but
it's one of those things where if you're wearing too much makeup, you kind of lose your natural beauty.
I also feel her whole image is sex. That's her whole image.
Yeah, that seems about right. I seen this meme going around. It might have been on YouTube, and they're like, "Look at her. She's like between two towers in this sexual position," and she was like butt up against one of her male dancers, and she was bent over like she was like she was like a bench between them or something, is how they were like projecting it. Like, look at her trying to be a sexual icon. This is what they're feeding our children. And I'm like, is it any different than Britney Spears and my generation? I really don't think so. I think it's about the same damn thing.
Was like, imagine casting Christina Aguilera in her dirty phase to play Cinderella.
That's kind of what they're trying to do, I think. Like, and I don't think that's a good move.
I feel like they need an unknown. They brought an unknown from Moana. The girl playing Moana is like a complete unknown.
Yeah, and I'm okay with them doing complete unknowns. We need new
absolutely. Bring in a complete. I would rather that. I'd rather see somebody new and exciting. I'd rather them do a casting call.
Yeah, like because like they could have let's just go back to Uncharted for a moment. They used Tom Holland. The whole time I'm watching that movie, I'm like, this is Peter Parker. Because he's so big in the zeitgeist as Peter Parker right now, I can't give me a new actor that I don't have associated with this one main character. There's plenty of people lining up to try to be actors that are probably really good that can't get the time of day because we want to keep giving all these big roles to the same 5 guys. Or the same 5 women, like I think it's about time for us to be getting some new actors and actresses in. So I just don't know if we need to keep pulling musicians.
Yeah, no, people with like musicians and just people who already have like social media people.
Yeah, like I remember there was I think it was a new Double Dare or something, and there was like this girl that became like this new face on Nickelodeon. And my wife was like, oh, and I knew kind of who she was. I can't remember her name, but I only knew who she was because my wife used to watch her on Vine Reels. Vine, back in the day. This girl got famous off of Vine, and now she's like this Nickelodeon host and all this other stuff. And she does like the Kids' Choice Awards. And I can't remember the girl's name.
That's like casting the hot tour girl in a movie right now.
Yeah. Which is probably going to happen.
I think she's kind of falling off, but yeah.
I hope so. Remember when they were sending digital copy codes with physical DVDs and Blu-rays? It was for Vudu back in the day. Yeah, well, they still do. And when you attach them to Movies Anywhere, they still pop up in Vudu. That's why I still like my Vudu or it's like Fandango now or whatever.
Fandango.
That's why I like it because as much as I love physical media, I don't think I've ever actually lost a movie from my Fandango library, even every time it's changed names, because it went from like Ultraviolet to Voodoo to what it is now. I don't think I've ever actually lost a movie.
I don't think I've lost a movie either, but I don't watch it enough to check.
I don't either. Like my number, I could lose 10 movies tomorrow, and I really
would
probably
never
can't tell.
notice. Yeah.
I just know that anytime I've went there and been like, I know I bought this movie and redeemed the code, it's there. You know, if I go to access it, like when I'm away from home, I just shake my damn head now. As soon as a movie drops in the theater, within 2 days, we're getting slipcover artwork for the physical release. Sometimes that movie comes out, they do a Thursday night premiere, and on Friday, Dawn of the Discs has the cover art for the slipcover and the steelbook. The movie
I've seen it before the movie.
Technically.
I've seen Dawn of the Disc release stuff before the movie even hits theater.
Yeah, Wolfman. I seen the Wolfman steelbook before it ever came out in theaters. I knew what it looked like. The sad thing is that before the movies ever make it to the theater, they already have the Blu-ray discs pressed. The Blu-ray discs and the 4K discs are already pressed and sitting in a warehouse ready to be shipped out before the movie ever even hits the theater. And now the theaters aren't getting reel-to-reels. They're getting encrypted USB drives, or they're getting encrypted streams, basically.
Yeah, it's all streamed. It's download. They download it because
they get like these,
they can change and edit overnight and send it back to the theater.
Yeah. Now theaters are getting the raw file. That's how it's encrypted.
Bigger files to project. They're not getting like
the reason why we don't get the actual theater movies bootlegged is because the files are way too big.
Oh, they're way too
big. They're getting like hundreds of gigabytes for a movie, but there's all these like small watermarks in certain spots, like things that we don't notice, but as soon as like if that movie got out on the internet, they would almost know immediately where it came from, because there's like all these things in the files.
Oh yeah, no, it's protected like crazy.
Let's see. Just watched the first disc in Dario Argento's Deep Cuts, Door to Darkness, The Neighbor, and The Tram. Very good TV films from '73. Hey, I think TV films deserve a little bit more love.
I think TV films are. I mean, they're more of a Blu-ray thing, but yeah, I feel like a lot of TV stuff is kind of slow, but it's coming on physical.
I want this. I don't think it has any actors in it that are of any name. I found this at my record store, dude. I bought it on basically the cover art alone. I got the tracking working on my VHS tape, and I watched it, or on my VHS player, and I watched it because this doesn't even have a DVD. It's called Panic on the 522.
Never heard of that one.
It's like a taken of Pelham 123 made for TV movie. But there's some stuff in this that I'm like, they played that on TV. Like dudes like backhanding women with guns and like all kinds of stuff. But it's from 1974. I got it at the record store for like $1. And I'm like, the cover art sold me on it. Came home and I watched it and I'm like, why doesn't this at least have a DVD? Like there are some TV movies that just get lost to time, and it's sad.
Yeah, a lot of them barely make it even to VHS, but some of them only came to VHS.
Yeah. Brian, I like your take as well on Alien Romulus. I agree.
You know, I'm gonna tell you a funny story because so somebody messaged me last night and told me. You remember that Alien Romulus VHS that came out and went away like this, sold out like this?
Yeah.
It's back on Walmart.com.
Really? Is it the same price?
Mm-hmm.
See, I didn't like the price of it. Like
I don't like the price and I don't like the movie, but why am I struggling to try to convince myself to maybe buy it? I don't like the movie and I don't like the price. It's a $60 VHS. It's more than a Disney Steelbook.
Yeah, so I haven't seen the movie. I had a friend gift me his digital code because he doesn't use digital codes. And he's like, here, dude, I want you to see Alien Romulus. The thing for me is I don't really know where to watch Alien Romulus at because I've only ever seen the original Alien, Prometheus, and then like the AVP movies because I like the Predator. I like all the Predator movies, but I've never seen any other Alien.
I think this movie takes place in between 1 and 2.
So see, that's what I've heard. So everybody's like, you can go ahead and watch it. But like, I don't know. I was very interested in that VHS, like super interested. Like I was sharing it on my socials.
I love
everybody about it. before it come out. And then as soon as it was up on Walmart and it was $59 or it was $58.99 or some bullshit, and I'm like, I'm not paying that for a VHS movie. It's shelf fodder. In all.
Jeff just got removed for talking crap on Alien Romulus. Oh man, goodbye, Jeff. Disney said nope.
Disney was like, hey, you want to talk about
Disney shut you down for a second. Disney
was like, my window popped up and it was like, no, but it was just a refresh.
I was like, they shut him down. Look, they did it again. Shut him down. So I'll go through the chat real fast. Let's see.
All right, we won't talk bad on Disney no more. Sorry, guys. All right, so we got Tiana in here. Hi, Tiana, one of our channel members, one of the best supporters of physical media out there. She buys books, she buys movies, she buys games, and she supports like all the great physical media channels. So thanks for popping in here tonight and saying hey. Tangled was a great animated film. I don't think it's ready for live action, but see, Disney's scraped the
I would rather another animated sequel than a live action.
Me too. Like I think when they're getting up, Tangled was what, 2012, 2013?
Yeah, it was a long time. It was before Moana.
Like they're getting, I feel like using, because Moana was I think 2016. So they're using things that are, I think, too new now. Like they've scraped the barrel too much of their old stuff that they got to get into the newer stuff.
Well, they're also like Moana 2 and Moana live action basically at the same time. It's like, let's do a sequel and then let's reboot the first one. Like,
yeah, it's kind of it was kind of a weird announcement because it came really close to 2, and then I'm like, oh well, 2 won't be out for a while, and 2 was out like quick. I felt like 2
because it was already done. It was a TV series. That's what it was. It was like a 3-part TV series that they had to edit into a movie,
which they did pretty good, man. I liked Moana.
I like Moana too. There's only one part I think is just super cringe, and that's one of the songs you're on the boat and one of the new girls starts rapping, and she's rapping so fast you can't understand a word she's saying.
Yeah.
And it goes on way too long, and I'm just like, it's just that one part. Everything else, I love the movie. In fact, I may watch that after this.
Honestly, I would love to own it, but I don't buy $50 steelbooks, especially when my mailman is as abusive to my mail as he is. Like, it would come crushed. I'd have to return it. But I have to drive 45 minutes one way to go to an Amazon drop-off to return an Amazon package. So if a movie comes damaged from Amazon, it's a hassle for me to get it replaced. So I don't usually buy steelbooks like that. And I don't really want to buy Moana on Blu-ray. So like Disney's kind of got me pinched, you know? I hate that right now with Disney.
Yeah, I had the first one on Steelbook, so I had to get the second one on Steelbook. But the 4K is the Steelbook, sadly, the only way it's available.
Yeah,
they haven't released a standard,
and they did that with Inside Out 2 as well.
Oh, did they?
And I believe they may have done a Steelbook of Elemental, but there may have been a slipcover as well. But they've been doing it with some of their bigger cartoons, and then they're doing it with Tombstone as well, at least in the US. I've heard that Amaray case is not coming out in the US. We're only getting the Steelbook.
Oh.
And that
Orbit will probably have it. Orbit or Movie Room or Diabolic.
And I'm kind of hoping that Orbit gets it, because I'm telling you, dude, if they do the Amaray case and I can get the Amaray case for about $32, I'll probably be on it. But $40 for the Steelbook of Tombstone, and like half the people that are going to buy it are probably going to say Disney sucks at transfers and it's no good. It's like, the Blu-ray isn't the best transfer, but I've been able to get it at Walmart for like $7.50 since 2010.
Yeah,
it's been a $7.50 Blu-ray forever. So is that 4K really going to be worth that much more?
It's it's not even it's an upscale. So
yeah, see, somebody, I don't remember who. I watch a lot of YouTube channels. I try to support a lot of different people. So I don't remember exactly who said it, but their exact words were, this Steelbook is worth the $55, because they were showing off the Amazon pre-order when it was first announced. They're like, this is worth the $55 because Disney's restoration team put a lot of work into it, and that costs money.
Which movie is this?
Tombstone. And they're saying,
only putting it on a 66 gigabyte
yeah.
disc.
Well, they were saying that, and I'm kind of just rolling my eyes a little bit because I'm like, honestly, I feel like they're using Tombstone. Now, this is just me from like a perspective of somebody that thinks about the money side of it. I feel like they're using Tombstone to help actually fund the restoration for Sound of Music.
Yeah,
because that's actually going to cost.
Yeah, you're digging way into.
Because I actually think the Sound of Music is actually going to cost them money because they're doing a real true restoration of it. But Tombstone is just a scan from what I've seen since announcement. And steelbooks are flimsier than they were a year ago. They are.
Yeah, I feel like they're getting worse, to be honest.
I think they've gotten a little thinner. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I wasn't. I mean, I got about 100 and some steelbooks, but I feel like in the last year they've gotten just a little bit thinner, like the actual steel, like they ding a little bit easier. Or maybe our mailmen just don't care as much anymore, and they're damaging our shit before it gets to us. Hey, she will be. Lady Gaga will be in a role with Disney. It's happening. It will. I think someone didn't know for Tangled would be awesome. Yeah. I mean, I think Tangled will be great. I just think it's kind of like too soon. But then again, maybe time's just going by faster than I want it to. Hey, he's back. What is up, Movie Mass?
Up,
he probably left already.
All right, Speaking of, I'm about to have to leave here pretty soon.
All right, man. We got tons of musicals. Oh yeah. Lady Gaga.
Yeah, I'm getting kind of tired of the musical phase right now. We need to phase the musical out.
Like
everything's a musical now.
And what's sad about it is they try to trick you with the original trailers. Like when they did Mean Girls last year, nothing in the trailer said that it was a musical. Nothing showed it being a musical, and then Mean Girls comes out and it's a full musical. And they did the same thing with The Color of Purple. Like they did that twice last year. Now I'm okay with like Wicked being a musical because it is a musical, but like there's certain things that just are musicals.
Yeah, and there are certain things that just need to stay away.
Yeah, see, and then we got Paramount doing 4Ks and no Blu-rays. Now, I'm not that upset about that because we get
they didn't do a Blu-ray of Transformers 1?
They didn't do it Transformers 1. They just have the Blu-ray packaged in with the 4K.
No joke. I almost bought that for I gotta watch it. I tried watching it at work one time, but I was too busy because I wanted. It was like on sale. It was cheap. It was like $20. It was stupid.
Yeah. It's $20 at my Walmart right now, sitting right next to Smile 2 for $20. And 4K? neither one of those got standard Blu-rays, just 4K combo packs.
Oh, you are right.
Yeah. It is. And I don't really mind that. That's a move that Paramount's trying to pivot.
It did that in the US. That's US only. It got Blu-ray only in like UK, Germany, like other countries where
it's a US thing.
Yeah, it's
and
a US
Paramount thing. Somebody was complaining. They were like, "Oh, Paramount's trying to like get rid of Blu-rays." But if you think about it, Disney was the first ones that did that last year when they released the 3 James Cameron movies. None of those got Blu-ray standards. I mean, Aliens already had one, but True Lies in the Abyss,
it
was 4K or bust. You had to upgrade your DVD even to that set just to get a Blu-ray. So Disney kind of started that. I kind of still feel like Disney's like the biggest enemy of physical media, but
here they are coming back to it.
But they still are releasing stuff. So it's like I can't say they won't release things and they won't sell things. I feel like Disney's in this moment where they're like, we're gonna do anything we can to make money. Like they don't care. Like if they think people will buy a 4K, they'll release it. If they don't, then they won't. Like Breadknocks. I've never seen Bedknobs and Broomsticks.
What?
But I bet that's old enough for them to turn that into a live action. Isn't that from the 70s or the 80s?
I think it might be 70s actually.
I almost bought it about a year ago. I was going through and buying Disney Blu-rays and it was on Walmart for like $8, and I wish I would have because I think it's like $20 now. Yeah, I've never seen that one. I got to check it out. My wife was obsessed with Wicked. We saw it in the theater on opening weekend. I was extremely surprised the theater was practically empty. There was maybe 20, 30 people. Dude, 20, 30 people are more than a lot of my theater sit downs just in general. 20 or 30 is a packed theater nowadays, I think.
It really is so.
Like I'll go with my family, and there might be one other family or two. Like honestly, the most packed was Moana 2. And it was hard for a family of 5 to find 5 seats. But that was Moana 2, and that was 6 months ago almost now. Like nothing else has really done that. So high prices are a US thing. The high price deals we are seeing. Yeah, for 35. Yeah, but see, that's where they freaking get us, man. They sell us the 4Ks for like 45, and then but we can import them for 35, but then we pay for the shipping for the import. So we're still getting that gouge. I don't get it, because I feel like maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like the United States supports physical media pretty hardcore. Like I see so many people like importing just to have the movie. You know, I don't see a lot of people in the UK importing US movies. I might be wrong, but I think the only one I've heard of this year was Panic Room. I heard some people were importing Panic Room.
Yeah, I remember hearing that. I still haven't got Panic Room yet.
Oh, dude, Panic Room is great. I actually thought the sound uptick was the best part of it.
Really?
It got a really nice Atmos track, and there's like parts where you can hear them walking above them, and it was really good. But I hear that the Steelbook's not coming back, and that they're going to do an Amaray case at the end of the summer.
I may wait for the Amaray, to be honest.
I mean, I have a buddy on Facebook that's been all over Orbit's page talking about, you guys know if you're going to restock it, if you're going to restock it. I finally private messaged him. I was like, dude, I heard they weren't restocking it, that we were getting an Amaray case. And then he was like, oh, well, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
But I wish these companies would tell us these things. I wish they'd just be like, here's the plans. Because not everybody likes Steelbooks. I mean, I don't mind them. I don't care. But I literally know people that just don't mess with them anymore.
Yeah.
Wait, whoa. Okay, here. Oh, Zavi had, the Deadpool Wolverine steals for 35. I loved that movie last year. I watched it, and I got home, and I was like, I'm going to buy this movie when it comes out. Then they showed off the Steelbooks. I'm like, I'm going to get both of them because it makes one big montage. Then they did the prices, and I've still not bought those movies. I was like, you know what, Disney, you overpriced the Steelbooks. You don't even get the Amaray case out of me.
Yeah, I didn't end up getting it. I didn't like the movie that much to, especially spend that kind of price on it. I'm like,
well, see, my thing is now, see, this is just me again, and I'm of a very small minority. I know. I was very close to importing the 4K Hex, I think it's called, or Dex version from China. And it's what Disney releases a certain version of the Marvel movies in China that come with the 4K, the 3D, and the 2D Blu-ray all in one combo pack.
Yeah, Blu-ray. I mean, doesn't Germany still get a lot of 3D movies too?
Yeah, they got a company that's actually making 3D Blu-rays right now. Turbine Media. It's Turbine that's doing. They have, I think, 12 out now. And then they got another single coming. And then I think they said they have another set of 3 set up for after that. And it'll get them up to like 16. But that's been what they've done in about 16 months. So they're really supporting the format in that fashion. But Disney, all of the Marvel movies, like all the new Marvel movies, like everything post Endgame, you have to order from China. Shang-Chi, Black Widow, all that. And they're about $75 to $90 a piece to import. And so to me, that's why I don't have a lot of the newer Marvel movies, because to me, I'd still rather try to get the 3D if I can. But I don't want to spend that much money on a single movie. I mean, honestly, I don't want to spend 40 on a single movie.
I don't either. At this point, I don't either.
I'm kind of like I might be down with paying like 38 to 42 for a nice big Arrow chunky box, because they come with some cool stuff in it. If it's the right movie for me, like I'm buying Swordfish. I want that, but like not every movie gets that.
No, they really don't. Oh, you see, every time you talk bad about Disney, every time. They locked you out every time. Disney does not like Jeff bashing them or even questioning. Every time
can you hear me?
Every time you talk about Disney, every time they got you.
Yeah, they do. My whole ass computer crashed. I don't know what that was about. So I don't know how to get my old one off. But anyways, we'll go ahead and call that there. The computer says it wants to restart and scan.
I gotta go. I'm trying to message you privately. Like I gotta head off pretty soon. I don't think you saw it.
No, I didn't. Actually, I just see it here on the phone. It pops up on the phone better than it does on the computer.
Oh, good.
But yeah, thanks for popping in, everybody. We talked a little bit about
a little bit about Mummy 2.
Mummy 2. We'll be back in probably about 2 weeks if Brian's still down for it. We're going to talk Austin Powers, The Spy Who Shagged Me, which spoiler alert is my favorite of the trilogy.
Oh, but I'm favorite of the trilogy.
I'm going to watch all 3 of them before we stream it. So thanks for popping in, everybody. I hope you guys have a great night. Thanks, Brian, for popping in and hanging out. And we will see you guys next time.
Later, man. Thanks.
Later.